वेबिनार आहे, जॉईन होणार असलं तेव्हा. हॅलो,
Very good morning to all the dignitaries and participants. Thank you for joining us for today's webinar. We have participants joining across India and abroad as well. It's my pleasure to welcome you all in one-day international webinar on use of statistics in international banking and pharmaceutical sectors, jointly organized by Department of Statistics and Internal Quality Assurance Cell, Dahiwadi College, Dahiwadi, on the occasion of 3rd World Statistics Day. We would like to extend a special welcome to our today's guest of honor, Dr. P.G. Kore sir, Mr. Arun Mishra sir, and Mr. Vikesh sir. I request to Professor Dr. K.M. Pawar sir to inaugurate today's webinar by putting his views regarding this event. Yes, sir.
सांख्यिकी विभाग अग्रणी महाविद्यालय और आईपीएससी सेल द्वारा आयोजित यह अंतर्राष्ट्रीय परिचर्चा में आप सभी का स्वागत है। मित्रों, जीवन के हर क्षेत्र में विभिन्न विषयों का सामना और परिचय हम लोग पाते हैं। जैसे सांख्यिकी को कई शब्दों से हमारा प्राचीन इतिहास जानता है, अंकशास्त्र, संख्या शास्त्र, परिगणन शास्त्र, और आज विशेष रूप से हम लोग यह आयोजन कर रहे हैं विश्व सांख्यिकी दिवस के उपलक्ष्य में। मैं गणमान्य सभी सहभागियों का, साधन व्यक्तियों का और सांख्यिकी के अध्येता विद्यार्थियों का हार्दिक स्वागत करता हूं। इस कार्यक्रम के बीज भाषक प्राचार्य डॉक्टर भाऊ साहिब कोरे जी, आदर्श कॉलेज बिटा, मैं आपका हृदय से स्वागत करता हूं। इस अंतर्राष्ट्रीय वेबिनार के पहले सत्र के साधन व्यक्ति श्रीमान अरुण मिश्र जी, जो बैंक ऑफ अमेरिका शाखा गुड़गांव के संचालक हैं, वे अपना विषय अंतर्राष्ट्रीय अधिकोष क्षेत्र में सांख्यिकी प्रयोग, इस विषय पर अपना अनुभव और मत स्थापित करेंगे। मैं आपका हार्दिक स्वागत करता हूं। दूसरे सत्र के हमारे विशेषज्ञ श्रीमान विकेश जी, ये अपना मंतव्य अध्यक्षीय औषधीय क्षेत्र में सांख्यिकी प्रयोग, इस विशेष दृष्टि से रखेंगे। आप विशेषज्ञ हैं, क्लिनिकल प्रोग्रामर लीड, जीएस के वैक्सीन में आप कार्यरत हैं, नीदरलैंड, जहां से आप मार्गदर्शन करेंगे। अंकशास्त्र, संख्याशास्त्र, परिगणन विद्या, जैसे आरंभ में हमने कहा कि ये भारत की प्राचीन विद्या है। सभी विषयों का तो अपने क्षेत्र में और जीवन में परिचय और महत्व होता है, परंतु यहाँ एक बात हमें कहना प्रासंगिक और उचित लगता है, वो ये है कि विषयों में जब चुनाव की स्थिति आती है तो कौन से विषय महत्व के हो, ये भी एक प्रश्न होता है या चर्चा का विषय होता है। हर कोई अपने ढंग से अपने विषय का प्रतिपादन करता है, महत्व प्रतिपादित करता है, परंतु मेरी अपनी राय यहाँ पर मैं रखूं कि दो विषय जीवन में सर्वप्रथम आते हैं। एक आता है भाषा, जिसका जीवन में कोई पर्याय नहीं होता है। एक चर्चा में मैं गया था तो एक प्राचार्य महोदय जी ने कहा था कि भाषा सबसे महत्वपूर्ण विषय है। वो इसलिए कि किसी भी विषय का ज्ञान अभिव्यक्ति तभी पाता है जब भाषा हो। और उन्होंने बड़ा रोचक उदाहरण दिया था, जैसे हम लोग प्राप्त परिस्थिति में विभिन्न समस्याओं से घिरे हैं। तो एक समस्या वर्तमान में भी है हमारे पास, बिजली की लोड शेडिंग वाली। तो लोड शेडिंग हम लोग जानते हैं क्यों होता है। जितनी आपूर्ति होनी चाहिए उतनी नहीं होती है और इसलिए लोड शेडिंग का सामना हमको करना पड़ता है। हम अपने विद्यार्थियों को भी ये उदाहरण देते हैं। जो प्राचार्य कॉमर्स के थे उन्होंने उदाहरण दिया था, मैं आपके सामने यहाँ रख रहा हूँ, विषय के महत्व को प्रतिपादित करते हुए, कि अगर भाषा का लोड शेडिंग हो जाए, कल्पना कीजिए, ज्ञान के विषय में कोई भी कल्पना स्वीकार्य होती है। अगर भाषा का लोड शेडिंग हो जाए और हमारे भाषा के विद्यार्थी जिनका 11-12 बजे कॉलेज समाप्त होता है, तो उनसे प्रश्न करते हैं हम लोग कि 12 बजे आप घर जाएंगे और अपनी माँ से भोजन की मांग करेंगे, तीखा लग जाए तो पानी की मांग करेंगे। अगर भाषा का लोड शेडिंग है, भाषा का प्रयोग कैसे करेंगे आप लोग? अपनी अभिव्यक्ति कैसे करेंगे? अनुभूति को जाहिर कैसे करेंगे? इसलिए प्राचार्य महोदय की बात मैं उसी अर्थ में लेता हूँ। सबसे महत्वपूर्ण विषय होता है भाषा, चाहे मराठी, हिंदी, अंग्रेजी, तमिल, तेलुगु या कोई विदेशी भाषा। दूसरा जो विषय महत्वपूर्ण होता है वो गणितीय और सांख्यिकीय, क्योंकि किसी भी विषय की कोई भी संकल्पना परिगणित करनी होती है और उसके लिए गणितीय और सांख्यिकी, इन दो विषयों का ज्ञान महत्वपूर्ण होता है। सांख्यिकी की बात हम आज कर रहे हैं। सूर्य की दूरी, मंगल की, शनि की, चाहे किसी भी वस्तु, क्षेत्र, ग्रह की दूरी नापनी हो तो निश्चित रूप से गणितीय और सांख्यिकी विभाग की अनिवार्यता हम महसूस करते हैं। यंत्रों की उलट गिनती हो, खेलों का आरंभ हो, जैसे 1, 2, 3 स्टार्ट, यहाँ से भी हम लोग अगर आरंभ मान ले तो जीवन के हर क्षेत्र में, हर पहलू में गणितीय और सांख्यिकी का महत्व अधोरेखित होता है। वस्तु संख्या में हम लोग बात करें, जैसे मैं चलते चलते ये बात यहाँ विनोदवश, चाहे आप लोग इसको स्वीकार करें, प्रसंगवश मैं इस कार्यक्रम का स्वागत कर रहा हूं। तो ऐसा नहीं है कि मेरा सांख्यिकी से कोई संबंध नहीं है। मेरा ग्रेजुएशन में विशेष विषय रहा है अर्थशास्त्र, और जिसमें मैंने स्टैटिस्टिक्स पढ़ा है। तो वस्तु संख्या में मीन, मोड, मीडियन मैंने भी पढ़ा है। अर्थशास्त्र की उपभोक्ता की सीमांत उपयोगिता वाली बात मैंने पढ़ी है। राजनीति के क्षेत्र में हम लोग देखते हैं आंकड़ों का महत्व कितना है। जैसे महाराष्ट्र की बात करें तो 145 का आंकड़ा शेयर मार्केट, जिसको हम लोग समभाग बाजार कहते हैं, आए दिनों चढ़ता है गिरता है। चाहे ईंधन तेल बाजार हो, सोना बाजार हो, हमारे सामाजिक, भौतिक, अतिभौतिक और पराभौतिक, इसी के साथ वैयक्तिक जीवन के प्रत्येक क्षेत्र में गणितीय तथा सांख्यिकीय अवलंबित्व बराबर बना हुआ है। कोरोना की आपदा और संकट काल में भी हम लोग इसका महत्व निश्चित रूप से समझ रहे हैं आंकड़ों के हिसाब से। तो सांख्यिकी विभाग विशेष महत्व का है। ऐसा नहीं है कि केवल बीएससी के छात्र या विशेषज्ञ इस बात को जानते हैं। हम कला क्षेत्र के छात्रों का, अध्यापकों का ये थोड़ा सा दुर्भाग्य होता है कि गणितीय क्षेत्र से हम लोग चूक जाते हैं विशेष विषय के कारण। परंतु आज हम इस अंतर्जालीय परिचर्चा में विशेष दो पहलुओं की चर्चा सांख्यिकी के दृष्टि से कर रहे हैं। वह है औषधीय क्षेत्र तथा अंतर्राष्ट्रीय अधिकोष में सांख्यिकी प्रयोग की परिचर्चा। मैं सम्माननीय, गणमान्य, प्रतिष्ठित साधन व्यक्ति का अनुभव, उनका मार्गदर्शन बनकर हम सबको एक नई दिशा देगा। इस अंतर्राष्ट्रीय अंतर्जालीय परिचर्चा को एक नई उपलब्धि प्रदान करेगा, यह विश्वास व्यक्त करता हूं। यह विश्वास निश्चित ही हम सब आज अनुभव करेंगे। हम आप सभी इस परिचर्चा में सम्मिलित गणमान्य अतिथियों, अतिथाओं, विषय विशेषज्ञों और संयोजकों का स्वागत करता हूं। हमारे सांख्यिकी विभाग के संयोजक श्री अभी गोपार्डे जी और उनके सभी सहयोगी तथा सलाहकार को साधुवाद देते हैं। दूरस्थ विभिन्न स्थलों से सहभागी अध्येता, विशेषज्ञ और सांख्यिकी विद्यार्थियों का स्वागत करते हैं। धन्यवाद। और आईक्यूसी के हमारे प्रमुख डॉक्टर अनिल दड़स जी, महाविद्यालय के प्रभारी प्रधानाचार्य डॉक्टर बलवंत जी और हमारे इस वेबिनार को संचालित करने वाले महाविद्यालय के इतर विभागों के तकनीकी सहयोगी, आप सभी का इस अंतर्राष्ट्रीय अंतर्जालीय परिचर्चा में हार्दिक स्वागत करता हूं। धन्यवाद।
Thank you, sir, for your best wishes. May I now request to the head of statistics department, Mr. Avi Kopade, sir, to introduce keynote address speaker, Honorable Dr. B.G. Kore, sir. Over to Kopade, sir.
Thank you, Sheikh Madam, for giving me such a golden opportunity to introduce today's keynote address speaker, Dr. B.G. Kore, sir. Dr. B.G. Kore is working as a head of Department of Statistics and also the principal of Adarsh College Vita from 1st March of 2019. He has a lot of administrative experience. He has worked as a head Department of Statistics at Balwan College Vita, worked as a member of local managing committee of Balwan College Vita from August 2014 to 2017. He worked as a member of College Development Committee of Balwan College Vita for the period 2017 to February 2019. He is working, he has a lot of academic experience also. He has qualified as MSc, PhD in statistics and also DCD. He has 31 years experience for UG level and 2 years experience for PG level. Then he is a recognized research guide of PhD and MPhil, Shivaji University, Kolhapur. He has published 25 research papers in various national and international journals. He has been as a resource person for 32 programs, and he has organized around 45 conferences, seminars, workshops, symposia, and so on. Overall, his API score verified from the university is 660. A lot of API score he has got according to his overall administrative and academic experience. We can imagine it. Okay. Then he has run 40 student support and progression activities, and also 20 extension activities. So with this brief introduction of such an eminent personality, I request to Dr. B.G. Kore to deliver keynote address. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Avi Koparde sir, for nice introduction. First of all, I want to request you that share the YouTube link on group also, because I watching that many more participants are waiting in waiting room.
Okay, sir. Okay. Okay, sir.
As I told, Mr. Ali Koparde sir has nicely introduced me. I am very much thankful to him. Today we are participating in international webinar on use of statistics in international banking and pharmaceutical sectors. Good morning to everybody in this August gathering. I am very much happy to be here to deliver a keynote address in this international webinar on using of statistics in international banking and pharmaceutical sectors on the occasion of 3rd World Statistics Day. Organizer of this international webinar, Honorable In-Charge Principal Dr. B.S. Balwant sir, Daivadi College, Daivadi. Coordinator Dr. A.N. Dadas sir. Convener Mr. Ali Koparde. Resource persons Honorable Mr. Arun Mishra, Bank of America, Gurgaon, India, and Honorable Mr. Vikesh GSK Vaccine, Netherlands. One thing I want to mention here, I am very much happy because Mr. Vikesh is my one of the best student, and he is a resource person for this webinar. All the teaching and non-teaching staff, dear teachers, students, and gentlemen who participated in this national international webinar from various colleges and organizations. I am very much thankful to the organizers for inviting me as a keynote speaker and giving me an opportunity for delivering a keynote address in this international webinar. Friends, we all are in lockdown due to COVID-19 pandemic. In such situation, we have to shift from offline to online, blackboard to broadband. So today we are meeting online in this international webinar for celebrating 3rd World Statistics Day. The 3rd World Statistics Day celebrated around the globe on 20th October 2020 with the theme Connecting the World with Data We Can Trust. This theme reflects on the importance of statistics, authoritative data, innovation, and the public good in national statistical systems. World Statistics Day celebrating after every 5 years on 20th October from 2010. Statistics are vital. Statistics plays an important role in the human life. At every corner of human life, there is a scope of statistics. Statistics mainly involves the steps collection, presentation, analysis and interpretation of large amount of numerical data. We are realizing the effective results of using statistics in various emerging fields. Today's resource persons, Mr. Arun Mishra and Mr. Vikesh focus in depth on use of statistics in international banking and pharmaceutical sectors respectively. I am just highlighting the scope of statistics in various sectors, statistical organizations and employability. And what is the statistics? Friends, you may call statistics is the science of data, or you may call statistics is the study of uncertainty. Previously, reading and writing are required for effective citizenship. Nowadays, reading, writing, statistical thinking to make the strongest possible conclusions from limited amounts of data. Rightly quoted by H.G. Wells that statistical thinking will one day be necessary for effective citizenship as the ability to read and write. Statistics encourages investigators to become thoughtful and independent problem solver. Friends, you know, in statistics we study the population through sample. What is population? All the individuals of interest. The sample is selected from the population. The sample is the individual selected to participate in the research study. After analysis, the result from the sample are generalized to the population. Various areas of statistics are in physical sciences, astronomy, chemistry, physics; in environment, agriculture, ecology, forestry, animal populations; in government sector, census, law, defense, projects, plans, monitoring, evaluation, finance, trade, etc., health and medicine, genetics, clinical trials, epidemiology, pharmacology; in business, economics, engineering, marketing, computer science, etc. Statistical investigation is a scientific process of collection of necessary data to reach to reasonable interpretation of a problem on the basis of analysis of statistical data. A statistical investigation has to pass through the following stages. Planning of inquiry. A statistical inquiry should be properly planned. It must consider the scope, objective and nature of the inquiry. Besides having a clear idea of source and field of information, units, method of data collection, computation, interpretation and analysis level of accuracy, etc., while planning an inquiry. An unplanned or haphazardly planned statistical inquiry may not give the required accuracy level. Collection of data. In this stage, an investigator decides to method of collection of data on the basis of requirement and nature of objective. This also involves the preparation of questionnaire and schedule. Editing of collected data. In this stage, collected data are edited by removing the errors and presented for use. Collection and tabulation. In this stage of investigation, error-free data are classified and presented in tabular form as per their homogeneity and characteristics. Analysis of data. The tabulated and classified data are analyzed by using different statistical measures like mean, median, mode, standard deviation, diagrams and graphs. The analyzed data reveals certain significant features which can be taken as interpretation and conclusions. The conclusions are tested for their validity and precision also. Report writing. This is the final stage of statistical inquiry. Here, investigators is supposed to present the final conclusions and suggestions if any, for policy formulation. Scope of statistics. The tools and techniques given by statistical methods are used in almost all fields at several phases. In industry, statistics is extensively used in administration, planning, production, growth and development. In many industry, statistical quality control division is separately operating. Nowadays, ISO 9000 makes use of statistics to a large extent. Some industries use the design of experiments. Sampling is required to be used because of its several advantages. Multiple regression planes are used for forecasting when several factors are interlinked. Index number of production, efficiency measurement, work planning, etc. are very much useful for administration and planning department. In biological sciences, Sir Francis Galton pioneered the use of statistical methods in biological sciences. The regression analysis was used by him in the field of genetics. Scientist Mendel performed a number of experiments in the field of genetics. Analysis of agricultural experiments makes use of statistical method, design of experiment. Main advantage of this technique is testing the interaction effects. For example, the interaction effect of fertilizer and irrigation. Professor Carl Pearson pioneered the study of correlation analysis, which helps in selection factor to be included in study. Various methods of cultivation, irrigation are tested and compared using statistical tests. Estimation of number of trees in jungle, forest density, number of animals in a jungle, fish in a sea can be done using various statistical techniques. Demography uses statistical methods for forecasting population, measuring death rates, birth rates, growth rates. Infant mortality rates can also be measured using statistics. It serves as an indicator of health condition of country. Estimation of sex ratio is also possible using statistical tools. In medical sciences, in the field of medical sciences, statistical methods are used to test various claims such as, does smoking increase the possibility of prevalence of cancer? Is there any correlation between age and blood pressure? Is a particular vaccine useful in controlling a particular disease? The conjectures made by experts can be supported by statistical data. Thus, statistics helps in every respect in this field. In social sciences, Bowley says statistics is the science of the measurement of social organism regarded as a whole in all its manifestations. Research in social sciences need questionnaire. Further analysis is required to be done using statistical tools. In social sciences, we need to test association between two variables such as education and criminality, education and marriage adjustment score, sex and education, richness and criminality. In management sciences, one of the peculiar problems in business management is to take decision in the face of uncertainty. Statistical methods help the manager to analyze the problem and take decision with increased probability. For efficient working, various sections of management such as sales, production, marketing, statistical methods are used. Different statistical tools such as forecasting, test of significance, index numbers, time series analysis, statistical quality control, estimation play vital role in management activities to control the business activity, to increase efficiency and ultimately to increase profits. Various optimization techniques known as linear programming, transportation techniques, job assignment problems, inventory control are also useful. In economics, an economist has to deal with the problems of production and distribution and also with those of consumption. Statistics helps to understand these problems. Statistics of production describes the production capacity of a nation and its variation from time to time. Statistics of import, export and exchange describes the production capacity of a nation in relation to other countries. Statistical methods have been used in economics to collect the data, analysis and interpretation, estimation of national income, per capita income, poverty line, industrial production is done using statistical techniques. A tool known as index number developed in statistics is used in economics. It measures average increase in prices, production, income, import, export. Index numbers are also called as economic barometers to measure the changes in prices of shares in stock market. Index numbers provides the better tool. Demand analysis, time series analysis techniques are mainly developed to study economics. In commerce, success in business and commerce largely depends upon the capability to forecast accurately. Statistics provides different methods of forecasting production, demand and supply with reliable accuracy. A producer has to take into account the probable demand for his commodity and plan to production accordingly. A salesman also has to increase the stock if he finds that demand is likely to increase in future. Statistics is also useful to bankers, brokers, insurance companies to know precisely the existing level of business activity and to predict the chances in future. In banking sector, statistics plays an important role in banking. Banks make use of statistics for a number of purposes. They work on the principle that everyone who deposits their money with the banks does not withdraw it at the same time. The bank earns profit out of these deposits by lending it to the others on interest. The statistical tools are used in banking sectors for making a decision. How do a bank invest their money in capital market or for lending to their customer? They have to use statistics. It is also used in forecasting in the banking sector. Various statistical organizations are: Central Statistical Organization, that is CSO, was set up with the objective of coordinating statistical programs at state and central level. The additional duties of CSO had performing are as follows: preparation of national accounts, processing and publishing of industrial statistics, conduct of economic census and surveys, maintenance of consumer price index numbers, organizing various training programs in official statistics, organizing various conferences on regular basis. CSO functions through number of divisions such as industrial statistics using analytical division, national sample survey division, national income division, population division, training division, price and price index number division. National Sample Survey (NSS) was set up in 1950 under the guidance of Professor P.C. Malnobis, and afterwards it was recognized under the name National Sample Survey Organizations, that is NSSO. It functions under the Department of Statistics. It has about more than 170 offices throughout the country. The main functions of the Directorate of NSSO are as follows: data collection for estimation of national income, for the activities of Planning Commission, for the activities of various ministries, collection of socio-economic and demographic data. It collects data regarding prices, wages, consumptions, production, agriculture. It conducts sample surveys in the registered industrial sectors. It provides guidance to the various stages and does the job supervision for conducting various surveys. Indian Statistical Institute, ISI, it is a non-government organization of highest importance in India. It was established in 1932. It has following working: to produce learned and expert statisticians, to provide training and research facilities at various levels, to conduct large-scale statistical projects. Since 1938, it is awarding certificates and diplomas proficiency in statistics. It gives technical assistance to National Sample Survey Organization. Since 1960, the institute started its own courses for bachelor and master degree in statistics, that is BStat and MStat. It also confer PhD, Doctor of Philosophy and DSc Doctor of Science degree on those who have done research work in statistics of excellent order. It also brings out a monthly journal named Sankhya. International Institute for Population Sciences (IIPS). The institute established in 1956 to serve as a regional center for teaching, training and conducting research in the area of population studies. Prior to 1970, the IIPS was popularly known as Demographic Training and Research Center. The institute is an autonomous institution under the administrative control of the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, Government of India. It also offers academic courses to strengthen the reproductive health, research and training programs, and provides constantly to government and non-government organizations and other academic institutions. Various job opportunities, that is employability. In government sector, central government, Indian Statistical Services ISS equivalent to IAS, various department of central government also recruit the candidates time to time through UPSC, National Sample Survey Organization, Indian Council for Agriculture Research, particularly Indian Agricultural Statistical Research Institute, Indian Council of Social Scientific Research, Indian Institute of Tropical Meteorology and Research, Bureau of Indian Standards, Reserve Bank of India and other banks in public sector, International Institute for Population Sciences, Mumbai. State government sector, every state has Directorate of Economics and Statistics at its capital place. This office consists of regional headquarters headed by deputy directors. Regional headquarter in turn is composed of District Statistical Office headed by District Statistical Officer DSO. Investigators, assistant statisticians, research officers are appointed in these offices. Almost all departments of state government have several vacancies of statisticians for which the candidate of BSc and MSc with statistics is selected. In semi-government sector, Maharashtra State Road Transport Corporation has one statistical officer at each district. Central Institute of Road Transport Pune also has statistician post. Life Insurance Corporation has its independent statistical department. All nationalized banks have statistician post. Agricultural universities has statistics department. Research institutes, research cannot be complete without statistical analysis of the findings. Hence, postgraduates in statistics have the following job opportunities: Deccan Sugar Institute Pune, Indian Institute of Virology Pune, Central Bee Research Pune, Hindustan Antibiotics Pune, Water and Land Management Institute, National Institute of Nutrition Hyderabad, Forestry Research Institute Dehradun. CDAC also offers district-wise vacancies in medical laboratories for testing medicines as per Food and Drug Policy of Government. In private sectors, in the present world of competition, all large scale and medium scale industries nowadays are very much quality conscious, so they have to set up SQC lab in their company, which is also of the conditions of getting ISO 9000 and ISO 9002 certification. Such companies are Garware Polyester, Bajaj Auto, Kirloskar Udyog, Philips India, Jain Udyog, Hindustan Liver, Telco, Tata Motors, etc. Besides these, this research and development have several vacancies of statisticians in such companies. Nowadays, both private and government sectors give importance to quality assurance and process reliability, which require statisticians. Teaching and research, professors, readers and lecturers are required to teach statistics at degree level and postgraduate level at various science and commerce colleges, medical colleges, agricultural universities. All computer courses like MSc, Computer Science, MSc, IT, MCA, BCS, DCA and management courses like MBA, MBM, DBM, MCM, MPhil and PhD candidates can get scholarship during research after appearing national level examinations. Once again, I congratulate to the organizer, Honorable In-charge Principal Dr. B.S. Balwant, Coordinator Dr. A.N. Dadas, and Convener Mr. Avi Koparde for their great efforts taken and successfully organizing this international webinar. Thank you all for patiently listening. My best wishes to you. Thank you. Take care. Be safe. Thank you once again.
Thank you, Honorable Dr. B.G. Kore, sir, for your valuable and stimulating and enlightening keynote address regarding importance of statistics in all the fields. Thank you, sir. Very nice speech you have given.
Thank you. Thank you all.
May I now request to Mr. Anil Davle, sir, to introduce our first resource person, Honorable Mr. Arun Mishra, sir. Over to you, Mr. Anil Davle, sir.
Good morning, all of you. Rayat Shikshan Sanstha Dahiwadi College Dahiwadi and Office of Principal Dahiwadi College Dahiwadi welcomes today's eminent personality in this international webinar on the use of statistics in international banking and pharmaceutical sector. On the occasion of World Statistics Day, which is celebrated after every 5 years, this is third World Statistical Day. This day is very important day, which is celebrated since 2010, and it was created by United Nations Statistics Commission, which is specialized agency of the United Nations Economic and Social Council. This council appoints 24 members in statistical commission after every 5 years. Important role of this commission is use of statistics in all the disciplines and all the branches of science, social science, economics. This day is very important. This day is very important because statistics is the part and parcel of our life, starting from individual to the nation state. And in this direction, or to glorify this, Government of India has also started the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation by merging Department of Statistics and Program Implementation. So I first welcome the eminent personality from banking and financial sector, Mr. Arun Mishra, sir. Thank you, sir. Welcome, sir.
Hey, hi. Thank you.
Now I will give brief introduction of
Thanks, Sagar.
Mishra, sir.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Starting from his education to the career, sir has completed his Master of Statistics degree from Shivaji University, Kolhapur, and after completion of his education in statistics, sir had joined American Express in Gurgaon. Sir has experience of more than 9 years in risk modeling and strategy for consumer and commercial lending, spanning across the customer life cycle, acquisition, customer management, and collections. Starting from July 2010, sir has worked in the risk modeling sector in financial sector. Sir has also many accomplishment on his name. In 2017 and 2019, sir has SVP Performance Award. In 2014, sir was chairman, Best Chairman Awards for Innovation. Sir has also winner in Innovations Contest for operation in 2013. Now I request Mishra Sarji to interact with our participants and explain about the application of statistics in various sectors in banking and financial sector. Over to Shri Mishra Sarji. Thank you.
Thank you, Sagar. Thank you, Avi. So, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. Let me share my screen, and actually, let me know the language. So, I would be switching between English and Marathi. given that my all education background is from Kolhapur, I have some control over Marathi. So let me do in Marathi, because what I got from Avi is mostly the audience is from bachelors, uh, and they are from our region of Maharashtra. So let me thank you. Thanks, Sagar. Thanks for giving me this opportunity. Okay. Guys, also let me know if you see my screen. I'm sharing my screen. Hello. माझी
Yes,
screen दिसत आहे का?
Yes, sir, it is visible.
Yes, this.
Okay. So I will keep my presentation very, and I don't want to go into deep at first. So I will just introduce what is international banking, what statistics is used in international banking, and on top of it, आपल्याला skill काय लागतील for getting a job in a bank or an international bank. And I would like माझं हे म्हणणं असेल की it would be better जर people ask questions. So I would like it to be a two-way conversation rather than just me बोलेन आणि तुम्ही ऐकत बसाल. It's better to ask questions. So wherever you want to ask question, you can jump in and ask questions. बरोबर? So let me first introduce myself. Even though Sagar and Avi really did a good job. त्यांनी बरेच काही सांगितले, but I'm not so I don't have so much thing about my introduction. So I did my schooling from Ichalkaranji, a small town in Kolhapur, आणि त्याच्यानंतर I did my bachelor's from Vivekanand College, and then I did my master's from Shivaji University Kolhapur, MSc Statistics. I was very fortunate to have two good friends today in the seminar, both Avi and Vikesh. They are my classmates, batchmates from MSc. And after completing my master's in statistics, I went for further education, and मी मुंबईमध्ये एक RBIची इन्स्टिट्यूट आहे, इंदिरा गांधी इन्स्टिट्यूट ऑफ डेव्हलपमेंट रिसर्च. तिथे मी MPhil डिग्री कोर्ससाठी गेलो होतो. So hey, so there is Shekhar. Hi, Shekhar. Thanks for letting me know. So I will do two things. I will also speak in English and in Marathi both. So Shekhar, please bear with me. Wherever I feel like there's a knowledge that I need to share in English, I will do that. Thanks, Shekhar. Thanks for pointing that out. So I was introducing myself, Shekhar. So basically I was introducing my background. So I did my schooling from Ichalkaranji, and then my bachelor's and master's both from Kolhapur, and went on to further education in MPhil in development economics from Indira Gandhi Institute of Development Research, which is an RBI institute. Okay. This is how, and then I joined American Express as a business analyst, and thereafter I was working with American Express for almost 9.5 years, both in Gurgaon, and also I worked with American Express New York for 5 years. And like after working for 5 years, I then decided let's go back to India, and I joined Bank of America 6 months back, just before the COVID situation started. Yeah, so that's my small introduction, and I have sorry. So माझ्या experience मध्ये when I joined Bank of America, I was too new to the banking sector. So I learned that banks really crunch lot of data. Okay, so त्यांच्याकडे जेवढा data आहे, it's really wonderful to see how much banks do in data. So before like going to the data part and introducing की कुठले statistics use होतात, which statistics are used, and काय skills लागतील, let's start my presentation, and please keep it conversational. So so it means like please do ask question wherever you feel I would like to explain it in detail. Please be with me. Okay, thank you. So I will be मी जे आहे ते I will be taking giving you a glimpse of international banking and skills needed. So in my first part, my So first, let me introduce you to what is banking. So as we all know, जसं आपल्याला माहिती आहे की बँकचा प्रमुख व्यवसाय काय आहे. सो बँकचा प्रमुख व्यवसाय इज डिपॉझिट घेणे, लाईक सेव्हिंग घेणे, डिपॉझिट ठेवणे आणि लोन्स देणे, हे बँकचा प्रमुख व्यवसाय आहे. ओके, आणि अपार्ट फ्रॉम डिपॉझिट, सेव्हिंग, लोन्स, बँक्स आणि काही सर्व्हिसेस प्रोव्हाइड करतात, लाईक वेल्थ मॅनेजमेंट फॉर हाय नेट इन वेल्थ मॅनेजमेंट श्रीमंत लोकांसाठी, करन्सी एक्सचेंज फॉर करन्सीज टू डू ट्रेड बिटवीन डिफरंट कंट्रीज, आणि सेफ डिपॉझिट बॉक्सेस. ओके, या and most common type of banks people I like to have one request. So if you're not speaking related to if you don't have any question, you're not speaking, please mute your microphones, because thank you. So most common types of banks are retail banks, commercial bank, investment bank, central bank, credit unions, online bank, mutual banks, savings and loans bank. सो रिटेल बँक्स जर सांगायचं झालं तर आपले जे नॅशनलाइज बँक्स आहेत त्याच्यामध्ये मोस्टली जो व्यापार होतो तो रिटेल बँक्स आहे. सो रिटेल बँक्स हॅव फ्रंट एंड, तो त्यांचा एक ऑफिस असतो, आणि रिटेल बँक्समध्ये मोस्टली इंडिव्हिज्युअल कस्टमर ट्रीट केले जातात. सो बेसिकली इंडिव्हिज्युअल कस्टमर सेव्हिंग आणि डिपॉझिट करतो, आणि इंडिव्हिज्युअल कस्टमरचं लोन्स देतात किंवा क्रेडिट कार्ड्स, हे सगळे रिटेल बँकिंग्स आहेत. आता कॉमर्शियल बँकिंग म्हणायचं झालं तर इन कॉमर्शियल बँकिंग काय होतं की बिझनेसेसला लोन देणे, ज्यावेळी बँक्स बिझनेसेसला लोन देतात आणि बिझनेसेस पासून बिझनेस अकाउंट हँडल करतात, त्या बँक्स कॉमर्शियल बँक्स म्हटले जातात. ओके, इन्व्हेस्टमेंट बँक त्या आहेत ज्या शेअर मार्केट रिलेटेड लाईक डीमॅट अकाउंट आणि ते सगळ्या फॅसिलिटीज प्रोव्हाइड करून इव्हन ट्रेडिंग फॅसिलिटीज प्रोव्हाइड करतात. सेंट्रल बँक्स जे आहेत, सो सेंट्रल बँक इज मोस्ट लाईक RBI. सो RBI इज द सेंट्रल बँक ऑफ इंडिया. तसंच US मध्ये फेडरल रिझर्व्ह बँक आहे. क्रेडिट युनियन्स हे स्मॉल कोऑपरेटिव्ह सोसायटी सारखे असतात. ऑनलाईन बँक्स वी ऑलरेडी नो, अँड सेव्हिंग आणि लोन्स बँक ते जस्ट सेव्हिंग आणि लोन्स प्रोव्हाइड करतात. सो दे आर मोर लाईक रिटेल बँक्स, बट दे डील इन बोथ रिटेल, कमर्शियल, अँड त्यांचं स्केल इज स्मॉल. ओके, एनी क्वेश्चन्स पीपल? So, okay, I'll move to next slide. आता types of banks in India. So there are mainly two types of banks in India: scheduled banks and non-scheduled banks. Scheduled banks मध्ये आहे commercial banks आणि commercial banks and cooperative banks. Commercial banks are four types: public, private, foreign, regional, rural. तर पब्लिक सेक्टरमध्ये येतो SBI, नॅशनलाइज बँक्स आणि अदर पब्लिक सेक्टर बँक्स असतील ते. कोऑपरेटिव्ह बँक्समध्ये आपले कोऑपरेटिव्ह सोसायटीजचे जे बँक्स असतात किंवा डिस्ट्रिक्ट कोऑपरेटिव्ह असतात किंवा अदर कोऑपरेटिव्ह बँक्स त्या कोऑपरेटिव्हमध्ये येतात. नॉन स्केड्यूलमध्ये रुरल अँड नॉन रुरल बँक्स येतात. ओके, now let's see कुठल्या प्रकारच्या सर्व्हिसेस बँक्स इन इंडिया प्रोव्हाइड करतात. सो जनरली बँक्स इंडियामध्ये बिझनेस लोन, होम लोन, क्रेडिट लोन, आपण बघितलं असेल की व्हेकल लोन, सेव्हिंग अकाउंट, फिक्स डिपॉझिट, कस्टमर फिक्स डिपॉझिट, इंटरनेट बँकिंग, ह्या सगळ्या सर्व्हिसेस प्रोव्हाइड करतात. आता ह्या सर्व्हिसेस अपार्ट बँक्स जे रिजनल बँक्स असतात, लाईक कंट्री लेवलच्या ज्या बँक्स असतात, ते ऑल्सो प्रोव्हाइड डीमॅट फॅसिलिटीज, इन्व्हेस्टमेंट बँकिंग विद इन कंट्री.
घेतलंय पण आता इकडं कुठं कसं मगच सगळं पाठीमागे केले डॉक्युमेंट आता इथं कसं घ्यायचं लेकिन कुठं चूज फाईल म्हणतो.
Okay.
कुठं आहे कोर्स सपोर आहे.
Hello. So, any questions on the banking services in India?
सपोर्ट ह्याच्यात नाही काय रेकॉर्ड तर काढा. रेकॉर्ड तर कसं माग कसं आहे ठीक आहे इथं विचारा.
And now let's move on to what international banks do. So, international banks जे आहेत, same services as Indian banks provide करतात, but additionally ते आणि काही सर्व्हिसेस फॅसिलिटेट करतात, लाईक ते बिझनेस सिन्स इंटरनॅशनल बँक्स असल्यामुळे ते हॅव लायसेन्सेस टू डू बँकिंग विद इन डिफरंट कंट्रीज. अँड
काय करायचं फाईल लोकेशन म्हणतो.
So since they have like licenses to do banking within different countries, तर ते क्रॉस नॅशनल बाउंड्रीज जाऊन ट्रान्झॅक्शन प्रोव्हाइड करू शकतात.
थोड़ा क्यों?
So say like guys, please can you mute? If you're not on the line, please can you mute? Thank you. Okay, so business transactions provide करतात across national boundaries. So let's say a quick question. तुम्हाला काय वाटतं, SBI हे इंटरनॅशनल बँक आहे की नाही? As from the view of India as a country. So SBI हे एक इंटरनॅशनल बँक नाही, because SBI has very small presence in countries like US, UK, but mostly जे SBI तिथं banking करतो, that is in either have like single branch operations or more less than 10 branch operations. Now इंडियामध्ये जे इंटरनॅशनल बँक्स आहेत ते आहेत सिटी, RBS, स्टँडर्ड चार्टर्ड, डॉयशे, बँक ऑफ अमेरिका, डोहा, या सगळ्या बँक्स. आता या बँक्स इंडियामध्ये काय काय करतात? सो दे फॅसिलिटेट फॉरेन एक्सचेंज, ट्रेड फायनान्सिंग. सो से लाईक someone from US or UK wants to trade with India, and because businesses मध्ये काय होतो, जो पेमेंट्स असतात ते 90 डेजची डिफर वरती असतात. तर समजा कुणाला माल पाठवायचा आहे, माल घ्यायचा इंडियावरून आणि कोण पेमेंट करणार आहे UK वरून, सो ह्यांच्या दोघांच्या मध्ये फॅसिलिटेटर जो असतो, सो बँक्स ऑल्सो वर्क ॲज फॅसिलिटेटर ऑफ पेमेंट, बिकॉज someone sitting in US or UK will not know की इंडिया मधला जो मॅन्युफॅक्चरर आहे तो प्रोडक्ट सप्लाय करणार का नाही, आणि जो मॅन्युफॅक्चरर आहे त्याला गॅरंटी नसणार की जो प्रोडक्ट घेतोय तो पेमेंट देणार का नाही. सो ह्या दोघांच्या मध्ये फॅसिलिटेशन म्हणून ॲज अ फी घेऊन बँक्स वर्क करतात. सिमिलरली बँक्स ऑल्सो प्रोव्हाइड इन्व्हेस्टमेंट बँकिंग. दे ऑल्सो प्रोव्हाइड वेल्थ मॅनेजमेंट for high net worth individuals. Like by high net worth I would mean like people with like 100 crores, त्यांच्याकडे वेळ नसतो to manage their different investments. So त्यावेळी also banks jump in and they charge a fee, आणि त्या fee घेऊन त्या services provide करतात where they try to manage their wealth and grow it over time. Guys, any question?
Arun sir.
Yeah.
Arun sir.
Yeah.
Are you hearing?
Yeah, I'm able to. Hey, Avi. Hello, Avi. I'm able to
Arun
hear
sir,
you.
are you hearing me, Arun sir?
Yeah, I'm able to hear you. Go ahead.
Yes. First, will you please complete your presentation? Then we can have some questions in chat box.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
After
Definitely.
presentation, we can have QA session. Okay.
Okay. Fine. Thank you. Yeah. So now let's look how banks make money. So let me share you an example. So या example मध्ये so bank कसे पैसे बनवतात. I mean to say like how do they make profit. So first what they do, समजा तुम्ही बँक मध्ये गेला and you deposited 100 rupees. So bank promises की तुम्हाला since तुम्ही सेव्हिंग कराल तर तुम्हाला 5% देणार किंवा तुम्ही डिपॉझिट कराल तर तुम्हाला 7% देणार ॲज अन इंटरेस्ट. सो बँककडं तर बँक ही एक जस्ट अ बिल्डिंग आहे. त्याच्याकडं पैसा नाही की तुम्हाला तुमचं इन्व्हेस्टमेंट जर तुम्ही 100 रुपये बँकेकडे दिलंय त्याच्यावरती इंटरेस्ट द्याला. सो नाऊ बँक विल हॅव टू गो फॉरवर्ड आणि त्याच्यावरती money generate karna money. So bank accept money and on top of that money it tries to make money. Sir, then once you deposit 100 rupees तर बँक काय करणार त्याच्यातले काही पैसे ठेवणार लाईक 10% or 20% so that if say in future तुम्ही गेला आणि तुमच्या सेव्हिंग अकाउंट मध्ये तुम्ही पैसे काढायला गेला तर बँककडे सफिशियंट अमाऊंट असायला पाहिजे तुम्हाला द्यायला. अदरवाइज यू विल नॉट हॅव ट्रस्ट ऑन द बँक. So mostly banks always work on trust. That's what the core of banking. Trust and lending and fees. So bank काय करेल तुमच्यामधलं काही पर्सेंटेज ॲज अ रिझर्व्ह म्हणून ठेवेल त्याच्याकडेच सो दॅट इफ इन तुम्ही विथड्रॉलला गेला तर तुम्हाला देता येते त्याला. आणि त्याच्यातला काही पार्ट मॅक्सिमम पार्ट सो इट्स नॉट maximum like 90% or 80% of the part bank will find someone who wants a loan जे गरजू आहेत त्यांना लोन देणार आणि त्या लोन वरती they will charge higher interest than they give you on the savings. हे गॅप ह्याच्यासाठी असतो की गिव्हिंग लोन्स and maintaining your account requires operational cost. तर त्या ऑपरेशनल कॉस्ट साठी जो डिफरन्स बिटवीन सेव्हिंग्सचा जो रेट आहे आणि जो लोनचा रेट आहे त्याच्यामधनं जो पैसे सेव्ह करणार बँक वन्स जो लोन घेतलाय त्याने पे केल्यानंतर सो दॅट अमाऊंट विल गो ॲज अन ऑपरेशनल कॉस्ट अँड थ्रू दॅट बँक्स पे देअर एम्प्लॉईज मॅनेज ऑल देअर ऑपरेशन्स. जर बिल्डिंग रेंटवरती असेल तर बिल्डिंग्स चे रेंट देतात. सो ऑल दोज इज मनी दॅट प्रॉफिट दॅट इज मेड आउट ऑफ युअर सेव्हिंग्स अँड बँक्स लेंडिंग. दिस द डिफरन्स जो आहे त्या डिफरन्स मधनं बँक्स मेक प्रॉफिट. Now let's see what are the different things that bank do to make money or make profit. So banks charge interchange fee. So by interchange fee, like if you do NEFT or RTGS, bank charge some amount. This is to facilitate your transaction between one bank to another. Even though no cost is involved between the transaction, but still the bank will charge a fee as a maintenance cost. Also through investments they do, then they also make profit through deposits and through different kind of fees. Like say if you have they have fees for low balance. Sir, तुमच्या अकाउंट मध्ये जर पर्टिक्युलर अमाऊंटच्या पेक्षा कमी जर पैसे असतील तर त्याच्यावरती पण ते फीस चार्ज करतात. सो थ्रू फीस ऑल्सो दे मेक और क्रेडिट कार्डच्या जे पास्ट ड्यू वरती फीस चार्ज करतात और क्रेडिट कार्डच्या annual fees असतात त्याच्यावरती चार्ज करतात. त्याच्यावर फ्रॉम दॅट दे मेक money. Okay. Now let's move to next slide where I will show why banks rely on data. Where is the data generated and why banks rely on the data? So banks rely on data first to make intelligent decisions so that they can better serve their customer. Like banks try to give value to the customer. So to derive the value, banks have to look into the data, and then they, based on the data, they try to give different services to the customers. Also to manage decisions, so whether to give a loan or not to give a loan, and the risk in giving a loan, for calculate managing that, त्याच्यासाठी पण banks will rely on data. Also banks have to rely on data for laws and regulations, like banks in banks there is something called as liquidity, so capital adequacy. So banks have to always maintain a certain percentage of money as a liquidity at their end. But problem त्याचा कसा आहे की they need to find the optimal balance between how much they can invest and how much they can put into reserves or capital adequacy or as a liquidity. Because बँकचा प्रॉब्लेम हे आहे की जर त्यांच्याकडे जास्त पैसा ते साठवून ठेवले तर त्या पैशाचं त्यांना काही मिळत नाहीये. सो दे आर नॉट मेकिंग प्रॉफिट आउट ऑफ इट. अँड इफ दे ऑन द अदर हँड ते सगळे पैसे जर इन्व्हेस्ट केले तर दे विल लूज द ट्रस्ट इफ सडनली बॉरो depositor comes and asks for money. They will not be able to serve them. So they have to do thin line between trust, maintain trust, liquidity, and profit. So in banks, there are 6 major types of risk involved. 6 types of risk involved. The major are 3: credit, market, and operational. And other significant 3 are liquidity, business risk, and reputational risk. Okay. On the next slide, I have like, I've just put all the statistical methods that I have seen banks using it. So most commonly banks use measures of central tendency, which is mean, median, and mode. And also they very commonly use statistical distribution, of which normal distribution is the bread and butter. Then there is probability. Then also banks heavily rely on regression for forecasting, for credit management, for risk management. They also do sampling. So sampling is basically used to select the amount of data they would need to have a forecast or have a risk management score. Also recently, most recently, since the computers came and the online internet boost, after the internet boom, banks have started generating a lot of data. So त्या डेटाला अनालाइज करण्यासाठी the traditional methods were not so fast. So त्याच्यासाठी they have come up with machine learning and artificial intelligence. On the next page, let me give you a glimpse of where we apply statistics, predictive analytics in banks. So banks apply statistics in loan approval, which is like ज्यावेळी कुठल्या कस्टमरला लोन द्यायचं नाही. So it's called as customer onboarding, credit scoring, fraud prevention, financial management, budgeting, आणि investment and wealth management साठी. So that finishes my first part of agenda, where I just wanted to introduce you to banking and give you a glimpse in international banking. The next part is since most of you are like bachelor students, I would like you to focus on the next part, because all the business, international banking, pharmacy, so usage of statistics, you will obviously learn over the job, but the things that you will have to now start learning from today are the core skills and the soft skills. So in core skills, I will say these are core skills because you will be learning this day in, day out in classroom. So basically हे तुमच्या क्लासरूम मध्ये टीच केलं जातं. सो स्टॅटिस्टिक्स विल बी टॉट इन युअर क्लासरूम and you will be doing that. Also statistical packages will be taught. So try to learn both of this and have a balance of both, because why I'm saying statistical packages is also important, learning statistical packages is also important in this uh, age of the world, because इतके डेटा जनरेट होत आहे, एवढा डेटा जनरेट होत आहे की त्याच्यासाठी अनालिटिक्स करायला we just cannot go into Excel and do a regression modeling, or we can use a smaller, we will have to use something called as Python, R, then Julia. There are a lot of packages. So you will also have to learn that, because just knowing statistic will not be useful, because if you know, say you joined an organization, you just know statistics, you don't know statistical packages. So even though you know statistic, you will be able to solve a problem, but you will not be able to execute that problem in a good way. So execution, presentation आणि statistic knowledge हे तिन्ही hand in hand जातात. Okay, so I will ask you to focus on learning statistic and learning statistical packages both at the same time. Okay, so those are the core skills. Now this I will ask you, like I will beg you to do the soft skills. Why I'm saying I'll beg you, because आमच्या वेळी पण, like in my time, आम्ही कधीही ह्याच्यावर भर दिलेला नव्हता. And I learned this in a hard way. म्हणजे by hard way I mean like when I joined the job, there I was, since I didn't have a well written oral and written communication, माझ्यासाठी it was a hard thing. So because what I have seen with the soft skill, it takes around 7 to 10 years for one to at least have some level of proficiency. So if you start in your bachelor's, you will somewhere between half the way by your master's if you start today. That's how the soft skills are, and that much time they take. So soft skills मध्ये I'll say की इंग्लिशचा communication both written and oral असायला पाहिजे, आणि presentation. So first let's talk and presentation of whatever work you are doing. So explaining the work, तुम्ही जे स्टॅटिस्टिक्स शिकत आहात, किंवा तुम्ही से like you learn distribution theory, say someone from chemistry department comes to you and asks की मला हे डिस्ट्रीब्युशन नॉर्मल म्हणजे काय असते हो ते सांगा, तर ते सांगता यायला पाहिजे. आणि त्याच्यासाठी व्हॉट इज नीडेड इज अंडरस्टँडिंग ते स्टॅटिस्टिक काय आहे, आणि अंडरस्टँडिंग हाऊ कम्युनिकेशन कसा असायला पाहिजे, त्याचं प्रेझेंटेशन कसं असायला पाहिजे, so that the other person who is not knowing statistics will understand. Because when we go on the job, businesses मध्ये mostly people business area चे जे असतात, they will have like some idea about what you are talking in statistics, but they will not fully understand. So तुम्हाला त्यांच्या भाषेत बोलायला लागणार. Like मी जर इथं either if I use Bhojpuri, my mother tongue, or some other language, you guys will not be able to understand. So we need to have a well communication, well written and oral communication, so that आपण जे काही करत आहोत ते आपण प्रेझेंट करू शकू. ओके, आता कम्युनिकेशन मध्ये मी काही टिप्स I would like to like share what I did and what you should actually should also do. So I started late. I started somewhere in second year of my MSc, which was way too late. So आणि का मी सांगतो way too late, because when ज्यावेळी आपण मास्टर्स मध्ये असतो त्यावेळी life is very fast. So there are a lot of subjects to learn, lot of things to do, आणि त्याच्यामध्ये we can't find lot time to do all the soft skills, because soft skills are out of your syllabus. And in masters मध्ये mostly you focus on syllabus and learning the skills that you need to get a job, right? So त्याच्यामध्ये कधी तर like I have seen, like I have missed a lot ki I didn't focus on the soft skills, and when it was end of the masters, when we went for a job, they तिथं आम्हाला रिअलाइज झालं की आम्ही ह्याच्यावर का भर दिलं नाही. So मी सांगेन focus on English magazines. Definitely read them, read newspapers like Hindustan Times, Times of India, Economic Times. And ज्यावेळी तुम्ही रीड करत असतात, try to understand what the reader, what the writer is or the author is saying in that particular paragraph or in the particular line. आणि त्याच्यामध्ये वर्ड्स असतात, त्या वर्ड्सच्या कॅरी अ डिक्शनरी. यू कॅन ऑल्सो हॅव अ डिक्शनरी इन युअर फोन. सो त्या डिक्शनरीमधून प्रत्येक शब्दाची मिनिंग घ्या आणि त्याचा यूज कुठं होऊ शकतो त्याच्यावर पण लक्ष ठेवा. सो जस्ट रीडिंग नाही, अंडरस्टँडिंग असायला पाहिजे त्या रीडिंगची. सो दॅट फ्युचरमध्ये जर तुम्हाला समजा तेच वर्ड किंवा तेच इंग्लिश बोलायचं असेल तर यू कॅन यूज दॅट वर्ड अँड complete your sentences or complete your conversation. Also, me सांगेन की YouTube वरती there are definitely people have lot of good speeches, discussions English मध्ये, ते पण करा. There are also TED Talks. TED Talks हे YouTube वरती सापडतील तुम्हाला, ते पण करा. Listen to them. Listen how people speak. Also observe how people speak, which is observing and listening, and हे दोन्ही इम्पॉर्टंट आहे सॉफ्ट स्किल्स मध्ये. अँड ऑन द प्रेझेंटेशन साइड आय विल से, सिन्स वी ऑल, आम्ही सगळे लाईक वी कम फ्रॉम हंबल बॅकग्राउंड, वी मोस्टली आर इंट्रोवर्ट. इवन इफ यू थिंक यू टॉक टू मच, but if you are like if someone asks you to go and give a speech or stage वर जाऊन बोलायचं, then we start shivering. आपल्याला ते जरासा अवघड होतो. का अवघड होतो? बिकॉज गिवन दॅट वी आर फ्रॉम व्हेरी हंबल बॅकग्राउंड, वी हॅव दिस इंट्रोवर्ट क्वालिटी. सो ट्राय टू शेड युअर इंट्रोवर्ट क्वालिटी अँड ट्राय टू स्पीक अप. जेव्हा जेव्हा चान्स मिळेल, ट्राय टू गो स्पीक अप. आणि आय वुड से लाईक इवन इन युअर डे टू डे कॉन्व्हर्सेशन विथ युअर प्रोफेसर्स, विथ युअर फ्रेंड्स, college friends or somewhere, wherever you can speak in English, try to speak in English, because this will help you the most to get a job or on the job. Because once you have the desired soft skills like communication, presentation, there will be no stopping for you. Okay, thank you guys, thanks for listening me. धन्यवाद सगळ्यांचा. आपल्याला काही क्वेश्चन असतील तर प्लीज गो अहेड.
Thank you, sir, for an enlightening and excellent presentation on the right way to apply statistics in international banking skills needed. There are many more appreciation from the audience side for your talk. Your very nice and informative session is there. So we proceed for question and answer session. Now session is open to all participants. They may ask their questions. So there are so many questions in chat box also. So I can read few of them.
Yeah, sure.
And sir will answer them. So first question is the difference between government banks and private banks. I think
Okay.
you have covered in your presentation itself.
So basically the government banks are where they are. So why we call them government banks or public sector? They are not called as government banks. They are called as public sector banks because then check some of the shares, some of the controls or governance is with the government. So like say ICICI, let's take two banks, ICICI and SBI, right? SBI is public sector bank or government bank. त्याच्यामध्ये government bank you may call it. So there is no term as a government bank. So just keep in mind. And on top of it, I will also say RBI is an independent body. RBI is not a government body. is a semi-government body, and RBI is central bank, which is called as banks of banks. It has no deposits, it takes no deposits, makes no loans, but still it makes profits. That you can go on an RBI site and you can learn from there. आता आपण येऊया public sector banks and private sector banks. Public sector banks ownership lies with investors and public and government. So समजा public sector banks of आणि in private sector banks, the ownership actually is with private individuals. Okay. So ICICI is a private sector bank, while SBI is a public sector bank. Public sector banks फायदा काय आहे की त्यांच्यामध्ये ट्रस्ट जास्त असतो, बिकॉज त्यांची बॅकिंग गव्हर्नमेंट कडून आहे, बिकॉज गव्हर्नमेंट इज अ पार्टनर. सो जरी त्यांचं चान्स ऑफ गोईंग बॅड हे कन्सिडरेबली रिड्यूस होतो, सिन्स गव्हर्नमेंट बँकरप्ट होणे इज अ बिग थिंग, राईट. गव्हर्नमेंट बँकरप्ट होणे म्हणजे पूर्ण कंट्री बँकरप्ट होणे. सो whenever there is a problem with the public sector banks, the government can chip in आणि त्यांचे बॅलन्स शीट मॅनेज करतात. लाईक इफ यू वुड हॅव हर्ड लाईक 2017-18 मध्ये, सो बिफोर डिमॉनिटायझेशन देयर वॉज समथिंग कॉल्ड एज बँक्स मध्ये NPA जास्त झालेले आहेत, बरोबर, नॉन परफॉर्मिंग ऍसेट्स. सर तर काय झालं, त्या नॉन परफॉर्मिंग ऍसेट्स जास्त झाल्यामुळं बँक गव्हर्नमेंट चिप इन केली आणि मल्टिपल बँक्सला मर्ज करून टाकली, टू सो दॅट त्यांचं ऍसेट साईज वाढेल आणि त्यांचं NPA कमी होईल. आणि त्याच्यावरती स्ट्रिक्ट लॉज पण बँक गव्हर्नमेंटने आणले.
आणि त्याचे सगळे डॉक्युमेंट, त्यांचं त्याचं वर्ष, त्यांचं कुठं काय एवढं सगळं झालं. याच बरोबर तुम्हाला एक डिपार्टमेंटल ऍक्टिव्हिटी बुक म्हणून एक मी सुरुवातीला एक रचना दिले प्रत्येक डिपार्टमेंट. आता लगेच
नेक्स्ट इज प्रायव्हेट सेक्टर. सो प्रायव्हेट सेक्टर बँक मध्ये द ट्रस्ट, if it is a small private sector bank, obviously people will have less trust because त्यांचं बॅकिंग एवढी मोठी नसते लाईक पब्लिक सेक्टर बँक्स, गव्हर्नमेंट नसते. बट देर आर प्रायव्हेट सेक्टर बँक्स लाईक बँक ऑफ अमेरिका, चेज, RBS, हे बिलियन मध्ये ट्रेड करतात. मग सिन्स दे आर ट्रेडिंग इन बिलियन्स अँड हॅव लॉट ऑफ ऍसेट्स, वेल्थ, तर त्यांची अँड ICICI ऑल्सो, तर त्यांचं कॉन्फिडन्स वाढतो. जर बँकमध्ये कॉन्फिडन्स असेल तरच पीपल सेव्हिंग्स अकाउंट किंवा डिपॉझिट अकाउंट ओपन करतात. एल्स पीपल विल गो अँड ओपन अ पोस्ट ऑफिस मध्ये अकाउंट, किंवा दे विल गो इन्व्हेस्ट इन आपल्या PF मध्ये. ओके.
Yes, sir. Next question. Anybody can open their own bank. What are the necessary conditions to open a personal bank?
Yeah, you can open a personal bank, given that you'll have to get a license of working a bank from RBI, which is very, very big. Because आपल्याला जर माहिती असेल तर बंधन बँक एक नवीन बँक आलेली आहे. सर बंधन इज नॉट अ न्यू थिंग. बंधन used to be small, it used to be a self help group. ते त्यांची साईज इतकी मोठी झाली की दे वेर मोर काइंड ऑफ स्युडो बँक झाले, तर त्यांनी लायसन्स घेऊन आता बँकिंग सुरू केलेले. सो बँकिंग मध्ये ऑपरेशन कॉस्ट हे लय मोठा आहे. अँड ऑल्सो द लायसन्सेस, देर आर व्हेरी स्ट्रिक्ट रूल्स अँड रेग्युलेशन्स अराउंड इट. या, इफ यू कॅन डू दॅट, वी कॅन डेफिनेटली ओपन अ बँक. इव्हन आपल्याला माहिती असेल की आपल्या जिल्ह्यात किंवा आपल्या सिटीमध्ये कोऑपरेटिव्ह बँक्स असतात, तर ते पण बँक्स आहेत, स्मॉल कोऑपरेटिव्ह बँक्स असतात. सो या, ऑब्वियसली यू कॅन ओपन अ बँक, but you'll have to right amount of investment, right amount of approvals.
Yes, sir. Next, one question. Which is Indian International Bank?
Which is India's international bank? So the largest bank in India, ICICI, has some presence in some of the like, I would not say like most of the India's banks are international banks. First of all, because they have smaller presence. SBI can be termed as an international bank because in countries like UK or UAE or South Africa or some other countries, they have a smaller presence. But the thing with the public sector banks in India, they have not taken that much risk to go into different countries and do something like wealth management, investment management. तर त्यांचे scale small आहे, but still they do business internationally. They business internationally karta, but they can't be, I don't know, whether they will be called as an international bank.
Okay, sir. There are many more questions, but due to lack of time, we can't take many questions. Your session is very good, sir. And after this session, after this enthusiastic question and answer session, I proceed for the next session. So
Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Thank you. May I request to our IQAC coordinator, Dr. A.N. Dhadas, sir, to introduce our second resource person, Honorable Mr. Vikesh Tarlekar, sir. Over to you, Dr. Dhadas, sir.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Now it's my great pleasure to introduce Apla Manus. Why I'm going to say Apla Manus, it will come soon to you, because the person whom I'm going to introduce is so near and dear to us, one who is Vikesh Tarlekar, who was born in Vita, Taluka Khanapur, district Sangli. So I called him Apla Manus, one who completed his BSc and MSc from Sumaj University, Kolhapur, and one who is known to most of the people as a patient listener, mentor, fast learner. So the dear students should have to learn something from our resource person, Tarlekar sir, one who is good at verbal as well as written communication, that is soft skills. And as our earlier guest, Arun Mishra told us, it is a great skill to acquire soft skills. It requires a lot of time and lot of practice. But our guest, that is Tarlekar sir, one who is good at his communication, and it is so because he is ready to learn new things as well as improve his competencies. Because improving our knowledge, improving our competencies is one trait of our personality. So such kind of personality is with us, though he has given us a long biodata, maybe of 6 to 7 pages. I am going to summarize it in short because we have to listen to him, one who is now in Netherlands. That is the person from abroad, Sata Samudra Palikade, the person who is there and contacting us. I am very grateful to introduce such person. Vikesh Tarlekar, one who is associated with Cognizant Technology Solutions with more than 11 years of IT experience, primarily in SaaS technology, clinical as well as DBWI, and aspire to utilize his technical skills for achieving the target and delivering the best performance for the esteemed organization where he works. I would like to implement his innovative ideas. Somebody has his or her mic is on. Please unmute please mute yourself. Please mute yourself. Unnecessarily, you are disturbing our sessions. Otherwise, organizers have to remove you. Organizers will remove you. Please mute yourself. Welcome back once again. So he had such kind of great experience. He has certified BA Best SaaS program with 11 years and 4 months of experience utilizing SaaS programming. Even he had 11 years and 4 months of experience on clinical domain also. He has experience in data manipulation and producing reports employing various SaaS procedures like proc SQL, proc report, proc tablet, proc freight, proc means, proc summary, and proc contents also. He has expertise in analyzing and reporting various phases, that is a phase first to phase 4 of clinical trialing using tools like best SAS, SAS, SQL, SAS, macro, and so on. Even he has expertise in developing SAS macros. He has extensive use of SAS Access, SAS Connect to connect various databases and servers such as development and production also. He has been the beginner in Python programming also. He involves team members in planning. One who is an expert in planning is able to achieve goals in a short period. He is also good at his leadership abilities, and he provides good monitoring of team staff work. He possesses very good analytical skill also, and he has knowledge of CRF annotation with respect to various database designs. He has knowledge of define XML creation as well as review also. He takes collaborative approach to problem solving. He displays an ongoing commitment to learning and self-improvement also. He builds constructive working relationships characterized by a high level of acceptance, cooperation, and mutual respect. He is also subject matter expert for define XML tools, SDTM framework, SDTM CRF, and LAB related standard macros. In a short, I summarize our resource person, Honorable Vikesh, who is currently working with Cognizant Technology Solutions in Amsterdam, Netherlands. I want to focus on the word Netherlands, which we locate on the world's map as a foreign country, as client location, as a standard programmer. And I know very well, as the word standard is there, we have such kind of a guest resource person who is going to speak about and the use of statistics in daily life. College team in such nice occasion, grand success. Sir, welcome once again. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. A.N. Dhada, sir, for a nice introduction of Mr. Vikesh Taralekar, sir. So there is one announcement for the participants. If you have any question during the presentation, please type them into the chat box, and we will have a time for question at the end of the webinar. So without further delay, we will turn the time over to Mr. Vikesh Taralekar, sir. Over to you, sir.
Very much. Nice introduction, sir. I first time this introduction. Thank you very much. I will share my screen. Please let me know once you're able to see it. Yeah, anyone can confirm if you are able to see your screen. My screen, sorry.
Yes, sir. Screen is visible.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Yeah. First of all, good afternoon to you. For me here, good chilly morning.
Yes, good morning. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon to you. So here today's our topic is career for statisticians within the pharmaceutical industry. Actually, I'm giving this talk first time, so bear with me for next 30 minutes. Also, as Arun said that I will speak in English as well as in Marathi in this session to make it more interactive. So in pharmaceutical industry, I will talk about, give the background of how big the pharmaceutical industry is, then what actually they do in the pharmaceutical industry, and what's our role as a statistician and programmer roles over there in that industry. And then we'll move on the soft skill and other skills over there. So I can start with the how pharmaceutical industry in the UK. I'm taking an example of the UK, one region here only is the second biggest contributor to the GDP. So you can imagine that how big it is and how much money involved into it. So there are, if I go in bit broader, then it's 3 million people in Asia work in the pharmaceutical industry, and 750,000 in Europe, and 270,000 in North America. And there are 27,000 more people are working in research and development as well. And in the pharmaceutical industry, there are other aspects and other areas as well, like manufacturing, regulatory affairs, sales, and marketing. So the regulatory affairs that that those industry who approves our drug approval, and those are varies from region to region. So in UK it's MHRA. There are other health institutions as well, which is involved in this institution to make an approval of the drug. So what pharmaceutical industry, what is the aim of this pharmaceutical industry? They discover the new medicines to prevent your disease and treatment of the disease, and improve on medicines. What's this improve on medicine? Medicine is already there, and what we need to improve over there. So what the improved means, I can give an example which we are currently working on the one study. The vaccine is already in the market, but what we are doing, we are adding some antigen into it and making it more effective. More effective means we are checking the how immunity will be increased to the human if we add this antigen. So these kind of studies are also going on in the pharmaceutical industry. Those studies and medicines or vaccines, we call it improving medicine and vaccines. So new devices, you have already visited big hospitals. There are a lot of devices, medical devices already there, methods of diagnosis, better educations, and all of this under umbrella of drug development. And this is the primarily where statisticians are involved. So these are the mainly 4 steps. It's higher view actually. It's a stages of the drug development process. First, we have to discover the drug. Once you discover the drug, then we have to test it on animals. Those we call it as preclinical development, and then it's a clinical development. In the clinical development, we test it on the human, and once we got the approval of that drug, then we can sell it in the market. That's the overall high level drug development process. If you go into the details, maybe I can put it more so you can it visible. आता मला इथं सांगायचं झालं तर तुम्ही सध्याची कोरोना वॅक्सिनवर भरपूर ऐकलं असेल की वॅक्सिन ही 1 मध्ये, फेज 2 मध्ये, कुठल्या देशाची वॅक्सिन फेज 3 मध्ये. सो जेव्हा वॅक्सिन किंवा एखादा ड्रग स्टार्ट होतो, तो सुरुवात त्याची आयडियापासून होते. आयडिया झाल्यानंतर त्याच्यासोबत ते प्लॅनिंग केलं जातं की काय काय करायचं आहे आपल्याला, आणि त्याच्यानंतर लॅबोरेटरीमध्ये ते ड्रग बनवला जातो. ड्रग बनवून त्याचं स्क्रीनिंग झाल्यानंतर तो त्याच्यानंतर ॲनिमल्सवर पहिला टेस्ट केला जातो. ॲनिमल्सवर टेस्ट केला जातो म्हणजे ते प्री क्लिनिकल डेव्हलपमेंट फेजमध्ये येतं. जेव्हा ते ॲनिमल इथं नॉट नेसेसरी की फक्त माऊस असेल, त्याच्यामध्ये डॉग्स पण असतात. डिपेंड्स अपॉन की तुम्ही कोणतं वॅक्सिन और कोणतं ड्रग्स बनवताय त्याच्यानुसार ते ॲनिमल चूज केलं जातं. मोस्ट ऑफ द केसेसमध्ये मी माऊसच पाहिलेलं आहे. आणि त्याच्यामध्ये जर ॲनिमल्सवर ते सक्सेसफुल झालं तर ते आपण पुढे ह्युमनवर ट्राय करतो. तर ह्युमनवर ट्राय करायच्या आधी थोडं त्याच्यामध्ये फॉर्म्युलेशन डेव्हलपमेंट केली जाते, which suits to human body. And त्याच्यानंतर जे फेज 1 फेज 1 जे आपण म्हणतो त्याच्यामध्ये फक्त हेल्दी पेशंट घेतले जातात, त्याच्यामध्ये की ज्यांना कोणताही रोग नाहीये असे पेशंट घेतले जातात आणि त्याच्यावर ते वॅक्सिन किंवा ड्रग टेस्ट केलं जातं. त्याचा मागचा पर्पज हा की तुमचं वॅक्सिन किती सेफ आहे, की बाबा तुम्ही एखाद्या माणसाला दिलं की त्याला कोणताच रोग नाही, तुम्ही ते वॅक्सिन दिल्यानंतर त्याला जर कोणता रोग होत असेल तर तुमचं वॅक्सिन ते सेफ नाहीये किंवा तुमचं ते ड्रग सेफ नाहीये. मग त्याच्यानंतर फेज 1 नंतर डिसाईड केलं जातं की फेज 2 मध्ये मग काय होतं की फेज 2 मध्ये दोन्ही लोक इन्व्हॉल्व्ह होतात की ज्यांना ऍक्च्युली तो रोग आहे आणि ज्यांना नाही. अशा कंबाईन मध्ये देऊन ते स्टडी केलं जातं की बाबा आम्ही जो हेल्दी पेशंट आहे त्याला तो ड्रग दिला आणि ज्याला ज्यांना रोग आहे त्यांच्यामध्ये मी त्यांना पाठवलं तर त्यांना काय एक्स्ट्रा साईड इफेक्ट होत आहेत का किंवा त्यांना त्या रोगाची लागण होतीये का, ह्या सगळ्या डिटेल्स मध्ये अनालिसिस केलं जातं आणि त्याचं थोडं पेशंट्स काउंट वाढवलेला जातो. त्याच्यानंतर जातं ते फेज 3 मध्ये आणि फेज 3 मध्ये 1000 मध्ये पेशंट्स घेतले जातात. त्यांना ऍक्च्युली आम्ही सब्जेक्ट हा वर्ड वापरतो इन इंडस्ट्री. त्याच्यानंतर जेव्हा आपण 1000 लोकांवरती टेस्ट करतो त्यावेळी आपल्याकडे ह्यूज डेटा येतो आणि त्याच्यानंतर जेव्हा आपण कंप्लीट होते आपली ट्रायल तेव्हा त्याच्यानंतर द क्लिनिकल डेटा अनालिसिस केलं जातं आणि त्या अनालिसिस मध्ये काही रिपोर्ट्स जनरेट होतात आणि ते रिपोर्ट्स सगळे पॅकेजेस करून ड्रग ऑथॉरिटीजना सबमिट केलं जातं आणि ड्रग ऑथॉरिटीज ते रिव्ह्यू करतात आणि रिव्ह्यू केल्यानंतर आपल्याला त्यांचा जर ग्रीन सिग्नल मिळाला त्या कंपनीला तर ते ड्रग्स आपण मार्केटमध्ये विकू शकतो. अदरवाईज आपल्याला त्यांचे क्वेरीज असतील तर त्याच्यावर वर्क करावं लागतं किंवा मध्ये तुम्हाला तुमचं ट्रायल थांबवावी लागते. असे कितीतरी ट्रायल्स अशा आहेत की त्या पूर्ण शेवटपर्यंत पोहोचलेल्या नाहीये. सो हा आहे ड्रग डेव्हलपमेंट रोड मॅप, the whole process what they do in their industry. So now we have to check that what's our role in this industry. So what area do we work in? So majorly we work in the phase 1, phase 2, all phase 4 clinical trials. I didn't explain the phase 4 over there. The phase 3 is still we do the analysis on the subjects. But after the phase 4 is the once we give to medicine, sell the medicine in the market, then we observe that is there any side effects on the patients who took those drugs. So this kind of data will come into the phase 4 trials, and we analyze also that one. If suppose in study conduct we know that our drug is well worked, but once we move into the sale market in broader level, that drug has some side effects which we call it as an adverse event. Then we have to take a decision on our drug or we have to roll back our drug. So that's why the phase 4 is involved over there. However, the statistician also involved in the non-clinical trials. And non-clinical trials, what's the non-clinical trials? ज्या ट्रायल अशा असतात की त्याच्यामध्ये फक्त लॅबोरेटरीमध्ये त्याचं अनालिसिस केलं जातं, डायरेक्ट पेशंटवर किंवा त्याचं अनालिसिस नसतं. ते पेशंटच्या सेल्स, बॉडी सेल्सवर किंवा प्राण्यांच्या सेल्सवर अनालिसिस करून जे ड्रग्स बनवले जातात शॉर्ट टर्मसाठी, त्या ड्रग्सना त्याच्यामध्ये आपण नॉन क्लिनिकल स्टेप्स येतात. एनिवे जिथं स्टडी आणि डेटा येतो तिथं स्टॅटिस्टिक्स इन्व्हॉल्व्ह होतं. So what are the areas which work? The drug discovery, safety, toxicity, how safety your drug is, pharmacy and production, manufacturing. Statistician also works in regulatory authority as well, not in the pharmaceutical industry. They can work also in the regulatory authorities. Just I have given here for the MHRA in the UK. So what types of company we work? I'm still talking about the pharmaceutical industry only. In that industry, it can be a small local company to large multinational company. The basic work is similar, but their areas could be a different or focus could be a different. The ranges of the locations and facilities. Pharmaceutical companies In that, pharmaceutical companies are divided into the clinical and non-clinical. There is also clinical research organization. They are also divided in clinical and non-clinical. What does the clinical research organization do? CRO, we call it as. The CRO actually conduct the trials, which I told that phase 1 to phase 4, they conduct the trial. They contact with the doctors, hospitals, they gather the patients all, and they conduct the trial also. We have opportunity in the clinical organization as well. And there are huge demand for the statistician in the CROs. And I can give an example of the CROs like Icon, Paraxel, Equia. They are most top-rated CROs nowadays, and they are highly actually statistical programmer, and the statisticians is highly paid over there. So you can think about this profession afterwards. There are regulatory authorities. So I told you that regulatory authorities, what they do, they approve the drug. Is it safe to sell into the market? So they will give an approval to the pharmaceutical industry and pharma company about it. So it's vary from regional to regional. In UK, it's a MHRA statistical assessor. In Europe, it's a European Medicine Agency, and in India, it's a Central Drug Standard Control Organization. So in China, it's there different. In America, it's different. In America, it's FDA. If you want to sell your drug worldwide, then you need an approval from the FDA. That's US-based regulatory authorities. So how is a clinical statistician involved in this trial design? So as the statistician is involved right from the beginning of the trial, and we help them to determine the design of the trial, what could be the objective, and what will be the endpoints of the trials. And also for the sample size calculations. As I told, in phase 1, they took few patients. Phase 2, they took more patients. In phase 3, in thousands of patients. Who decided? We as a statistician decide there that how much patients needs to be involved in which stage, and so accordingly we can make more clear analysis and correct analysis using those data. Protocol outline how the trial will be analyzed. So in the protocol nothing but is the Bible of that study. If I'm going to prepare one drug, then in the protocol you will all details about that drugs. What's the purpose, what's the objective, primary objective, secondary objective, what are the visits for that subjects, all statistical analysis related data. So all related information about that study is available in the protocol. What's the randomization scheme and the blinding? So randomization, you already heard about the random variable in your academic day-to-day life in the in your classroom. Then the randomization, why we use the randomization? The purpose and required is to reduce the sample bias, reduce the certain bias to make a effective of the treatment or the drug. So for that we use the randomization over there. And the blinding, what's the blinding? Blinding, there are two categories in the blinding. First is the single blinded study, and there are some double blinded study. In single blinded means what the single blinded? Single blinded means the patient who receives the drug, he don't know what drug he's receiving. That means he's receiving the actual drug or the placebo. When we do the study conduct there and we have to test on one drug, then there is we use the placebo drug. What's the placebo drug? There is nothing chemical in it, just a tablet which we can use to make feel that person as, yeah, I took the drug, so I will not get that disease, some kind of, or I will cure quickly, like that. So that's that also we need to keep into mind that our brain also work on our that actually factor it's considered over there. And then to reduce one step more to the biasness, we in the double blinded, even that doctor also don't know which drug he's giving to that the patient. So both are unblinded blinded here, doctor as well as the patients. So that's what we call it as the double blinded study. And next is the CRF form. What CRF form is nothing but the questionnaire. We ensure that correct data are collected. So statisticians are involved in, they know it, what we have to analysis first, and then once we know the what kind of analysis we are going to do, so we need the data and what type of data we need. So accordingly, we need to involve the add the questions to collect the data. So statisticians also mainly involved in the creating or development of the CRF forms. How is clinical statistician involved in analysis and reporting? So already the pre-specified key study analysis is there. While the study is running, the statisticians sometimes run analysis and also review the data coming in. One study take years and years to complete it. So in this, some few years data is collected, then statisticians will do their own analysis over there, and they will decide that, yeah, we are going in our correct direction, or we need to stop if there is more side effects or deaths are happening with due to our drug, then we need to stop our study. This kind of decision making involved in the meantime of the study as well. So statistician, we call it as interim analysis. So we do some interim analysis and periodic basically. So we'll come to know that we are going in a good direction, or we have to take a pause or stop the trial. So at the end, study statistician analyzes the data, and he's the first person who knows the results, whether the drug has worked or not. We help to interpret and present the results. I think statistician only knows that what are the outputs came out from that report, and we have to interpret in such a way that the result could be understand by any layman. So we have to interpret our results, and also we need to present the result in such a way that the other person which can understand, like Arun said, that the chemistry person can also understand who what your normal distribution is. So in that way also you need to explain those report, whatever the output created, to the layman. This is the impact, or that's the output which is looked like, and writes up the results. So when you have to distribute the results to the authorities or your other team members, you have to write up the provides input into the clinical study report. Because the clinical study report is the clinical study report, it's CSR. CSR mostly contains the tables details, and tables created by only statisticians. We need to provide our inputs there, because in the tables statistical computations are there, like mean, mode, median, or any other test involved over there. So our inputs are required to create these CSRs. May be involved in publication of study results. As I told, for interpretation, we have to interpret in such a way that the layman can also understand. So in this case, if they want to create a poster or manuscripts, then they require our help there to understand our results. Must state our intention upfront. Say what we are going to do. So what we are going to do, it's available in the protocol, as well as then according to that we decide the analysis plan. In analysis plan, do what we said we are going to do before seeing the data. So we have a plan. This kind of statistics we are going to use. And then we do the analysis on the actual data. Then verify we done what we said we are going to do. Once we do our analysis, a report will be there, and then we can verify our results on the actual data. What we said that in the analysis plan, what are the hypotheses we have made, is that true or wrong? Then what we have to change afterwards, according to the data pattern and all, that needs to be decided by the statisticians at that step. Now I'm going towards the industry, what exactly we do when we start the job, or when we groom up in that particular profile. So our day-to-day, what we do, we write the statistical analysis plan. So for when we start the study, then there needs to be a first analysis done. That's the statistical analysis plan we do. Discuss the plan for analysis with clinicians and programmer. Also, we need to communicate with the other clinicians. You are doing the analysis, that's good, but we also needs to be make sure that we are doing this analysis, it makes sense at the clinically. So that's why we need to take an opinion with the clinicians and programmer. And then programmer inputs is also required, that the analysis which we are going to do, which is achievable through the programming, or which is a logical, that also needs to be decided. So discussion is also required between the clinicians and the programmers. Of course, we have to attend the projects meetings to get the overall status, or where we are going to head. Design for the design work for the new study. As I told, we are involved in every phase of the study or trial. So we are also involved in the design phase of the trial as well. So reviewing of the study reports, yes, the one statistician can create the report, so we have to review those other reports which is created by other statisticians. So for reviewing also required, the statisticians also required there. Responding to questions from regulatory, yes, once we create a package with our data and we are sending it to the regulatory authorities, and they have some questions about your reports or data, then yes, we have to respond their queries in a time manner. Performing exploratory analysis. In exploratory analysis, we are conducting taking the CRF data, which I called is the CRF, the questionnaire. But in that questionnaire, there is a one section which we collect only data. The sample has to be taken. Sample means it's nothing but the blood or other plasma or other fluid from your body that could be taken, and that will be sent to the other laboratories, laboratories, and the data, the huge data will come to us with that we call it the exploratory analysis. That on those data we have to perform some analysis, that the exploratory analysis. So we have to resolve the difference in interpretation of programming. Suppose your analysis plan is already ready, but the programmer has output is a bit different than your analysis, then you have to resolve those difference, whether the programmer has done some incorrect programming over there, or it's in your program. Also you need to be a bridge between that programmer and the validator as well. And now once you've done your education and you just join the company, what you will do in your initial phase. In initial phase, the face-to-face discussions, of course, you need to know the person and your work from your boss or your colleague. So you have to interact with people in the face-to-face discussion, as well as teleconference from the other team or other locations. You have to write the emails. PC-based programming, the SAS. Nowadays, there are other Python and R is booming Actually, it's a groom now, Python and R. So you can learn those languages as well. As Arun said in his presentation, that you no need to only focus on the statistics. You have to focus on only others part like statistical packages. So there are other programmers in programming languages in the market. So SAS, SAS as well as the Python, R, MATLAB, or other things. So I will suggest you to do your statistical practicals on this programming language, so that will help you when you join your new company. So you have some basic idea how it does. So it will help you to quick learn their process and execute your knowledge over there. So regular discussion with supervisor. Of course, you need a discussion with your supervisors, how your performance going on and all. Group meeting with other statisticians. So there are different types in pharma. There are various different types like oncology, that's the cancer related diseases. There are other therapeutic area involved into it. So you have to group discussion with other statisticians, how they are doing in their areas. So what we have to do, so you can share your knowledges with each others, and ongoing technical trainings, that the training will never stop, or there the new technique or new techniques will become in day by day. So you have to be up to the mark, up to the speed with this current date. So you have to learn or attend some trainings as well. So actually, in the broader level, we use statistics to help and understand, does the drug hit the target? Example, the tumor respirator. Once it's at the target, does it do anything? Can we measure who and what disease are aiming to treat, whether it will work and be safe in wider population, how we can differentiate from other medicines, which compound to progress further. That's what I said, that in antigen we were added to get the more to increase the immunity. So these kind of compounds, so which compounds to progress further. So these kind of questions or this kind of things we help to understand and inform to our team and our organization. So interaction with people. Actually, Arun has already covered this point, that communication. So you need the better communication. So you have to actually every department of in your organization, like data management, with programmer, project management, medical team. There are pharmacokinetics, pharmacovigilance, CRS, medical writers. Not only in your organization, you have to communicate with outside the company for the regulatory authorities, academia, medics. So for that, you need to improve your communication as well. So this is the interaction with people who we interact in our organization or outside of our organization. How is clinical statistician involved in MHRA? MHRA is nothing but the UK's regulatory authorities. So what regulatory authority does? They review the work what pharmaceutical industry does, and their statistician does some reports analysis, and they send the packages to the regulatory authorities. So for review, also statisticians require that to understand the reports and analysis. So we have scope over there as well in the regulatory authorities. So we have to review their applications from marketing authorization, like assessment of clinical trials, methodology, and strength of evidence for efficacy, contributing to the decision whether a medicine should be licensed for use in the UK or their respective region, agreeing that standard for drug development with pharmaceutical companies through scientific advice, training of medical assessor in clinical trial methodology. So they have their own review methods to give an approval to the drugs. So, and they're also statistician and as well as the programmer required in those kind of regulatory authorities. So what are the challenges will be in the future for the pharmaceutical industry? So finding innovative drug efficiency, the need for stronger risk benefit, cost benefit ratio, power shift towards payer to patients, escalating cost of drug development, expected merger, speed of drug development needing to increase. Actually, when we develop one drug, it takes huge time. Actually, some of the drugs take 10 years, some of the 5 years. As of I know, the only one vaccine came with the little time amount. That's the 4 years. 4 years. So I don't know for the corona vaccines. It's coming on the coming in the 2 years now. They are doing the speedy trial nowadays. The market is a market. There are also innovations ideas. Loss of patent and onset of generics. Actually, loss of patents means now, if you see, not a single pharma company is involved in this corona. They are merging with other companies and doing this corona vaccines. Why? Because once we develop this corona vaccine or corona vaccines, then it will be a generic. Then other pharma company, small scale pharma companies can take your drugs and they can make the production there in their companies, because it will be a generic, not the patent. So you will not get that much amount benefits into it. So that's why most of the, if you say the combine Oxford with the AstraZeneca, their Pfizer with the other German companies. Now the GSK is working with the Sanofi. So there are mergers to be required in these cases, because the patent, if that patent is not along with you, then you cannot make more money into it. So nowadays the patent will be the 4 years with you. Then you have to make a plan that in 4 years we have to earn our benefit that which we have already spent on our drug or clinical trials. So that's the actually main challenges here. And higher regulatory hurdles nowadays. Regulatory also putting making their strict rules on the pharmaceutical company to get the new drug. If I give an example, recently in few years back, now regulatory authorities decided that we need a specific standard data from company for the review, because they have their own softwares that needs to be worked. So actually, initial days, the pharmaceutical company does their prepare data in their own standards, and then authority has to put more time on there to review their data and all. So now authority has made this rule to send data into the proper standard way, even in the previous which you have submitted. So now company has again working on this those trials and making those data into the standard way. So you have a huge demand in this sector to work on it, not only with the statistician as well as the statistical programmer. So key skill for statisticians. Of course, you need to be sounds in your statistical methodology and how to apply it, your good communication and presentation skill. So as Arun told you, the communication and presentations. So I will also prefer to prepare one topic, take one test, sample distribution, and explain in your class. So I know I can understand some students have some fear to explain those in whole class. So I will suggest make it a group of 4 or 5 people and explain with them. So with this, your communication skill will increase, as well as the presentation skill will also increase. Once you are confident with that 4 or 5 people, then we can broad your audience and work on this area in initial days because we know, Arun also said that we have spent more time on this to get this communication and presentation skill. And the problem is once you join any company, you are getting paid monthly, and if you not up to the speed with this with your work, then you will not get promotions, or you will not get any further step, any allowance or bonus. So then you have to spend on this time on this communication presence at the time, then you will lose your money over there. So I will suggest do it in your college level as well. We have already faced this kind of challenges. So I will suggest you to focus on this communication and presentation skill at your academic only, and must be a confident, competent, and challenging speak of influence. Must be actually confident. Confidence is required, because we all learn in विलेजेस. आता मीही तुमच्यासारखाच खेडेगावातूनच शिकलेलो आहे, तर कॉन्फिडंट नव्हता. मी जेव्हा जॉईन केली कंपनी तेव्हा डायरेक्ट खेडेगावातून मुंबईमध्ये गेलो होतो. त्यावेळी मला सुद्धा बोलताना खूप प्रॉब्लेम यायचा. कधी कधी लोक चेष्टा करतात, मजाक उडवतात आपला. त्यावेळी तुम्ही जर हेच प्रिपरेशन आधी केलं तर तुम्हाला कंपनीमध्ये प्रोग्रेस व्हायला जास्त वेळ नाही लागणार. तुम्ही पिकअप करू शकता गोष्टी, क्विक लर्न करू शकता. जर तुम्ही जर कॉन्फिडंट असाल, कम्युनिकेशन तुमचं ठीक असेल, तर तुम्ही बोलायला लागला तर तुमच्या सुपरवायझरचं लक्ष फक्त तुमच्यावर येतं, आणि तुम्हाला इनडायरेक्टली का होईना बायसनेस तुमच्याकडे खेचला जातो, आणि तुम्हाला वर्क दिलं जातं प्रॉपर वे मध्ये. आणि ऑफकोर्स तुम्ही एकदा वर्क पडल्यानंतर माणूस करतोच, आणि त्याच्यामध्ये तुमचं सो दे कॅन रेकग्नाइज युअर वर्क ॲज वेल, and you will get the promotions in your career. So these are the soft skills. It's really necessary. I have seen already people, they don't have the actual skill that much, but they are up to that level because they have their good soft skills like communication and presentation skill. So sometimes what happen, जर तुम्हाला मस्त भरपूर स्टॅटिस्टिक्स माहित आहे, तुम्हाला येतंय, एखाद्यानं करायला सांगितलं की काम तुम्ही भरपूर करताय, बट तुम्हाला ते प्रेझेंटच करता येत नसेल तर काय उपयोग नाही. कसं होतं मग, तुम्ही कष्ट करता, तुम्ही तो बॉल गोल पोस्ट पर्यंत नेता, बट तुम्हाला प्रेझेंट न करता आल्यामुळं दुसरा कोणीतरी येऊन जस्ट किक मारतो आणि गोल त्याच्या नावावर जातो. सगळं काम कुणी केलेलं असतं, बॉल तिथपर्यंत कुणी नेलेला असतो, तुम्ही नेलेला असतो, बट त्याचा काही उपयोग होत नाही. त्यामुळं थोडक्यासाठी तुमचं जे तुम्ही स्पेंड केलेलं आहे अकॅडमिक मध्ये ते काम वाया नका घालवू. त्यासाठी आतापासूनच तुम्ही तुमच्या कम्युनिकेशन अँड प्रेझेंटेशन स्किलवर भर द्या. त्याचा फायदा तुम्हाला नक्कीच पुढे होईल. ओके, देन कॅन वर्क वेल इन टीम अँड इंडिपेंडेंटली. सो तुम्हाला वर्क टीम मध्ये सुद्धा करता आलं पाहिजे, जेणेकरून दुसऱ्याला समजून घेऊन त्याला हेल्प करून किंवा त्याची हेल्प घेऊन तुम्ही तुमचं काम दिलेलं असाइन टास्क कम्प्लीट केलं पाहिजे. ॲज वेल ॲज कधी कधी असंही होतं की तुम्हाला एवढं प्रेशर आलेलं असतं की टाइम लिमिट असतं, त्यावेळी तुमच्यावर फोर्स केला जातो की बाबा हे काम कम्प्लीट करायचं. सो इंडिपेंडेंटली ऑल्सो तुम्ही ते कम्प्लीट करू शकला पाहिजे. अशी ॲबिलिटी तुमची तयार झाली पाहिजे. आणि प्रत्येक प्रॉब्लेम बघताना तुमच्या डिटेल मध्ये प्रॉब्लेम मध्ये तुम्ही त्या घुसलं पाहिजे, तेव्हा तुम्हाला कुठं ते अचीव करता येईल. वेल ऑर्गनाइज्ड पाहिजे. एखादं काय मला टास्क असाइन केली आहे तर मी त्याचा वेळचे वेळ स्टेटस देता आला पाहिजे. काम प्रायोरिटी वाईज डिसाईड करून तुम्ही ते केलं पाहिजे. लॉजिकल थिंकर इज द स्टॅटिस्टिकल वे. तुम्हाला लॉजिकल थिंकिंग करायला शिकवतच आपलं अकॅडमिक, ते तुमच्याकडे आहेच, बट ते तुम्ही आणखीन इम्प्रूव्ह करून त्याचा बेनिफिट तुम्ही तुमच्या कंपनीला दिल्यानंतर ऑब्व्हियसली तुम्हाला त्याचा बेनिफिट मिळेल. गुड स्टॅटिस्टिकल प्रोग्रामिंग स्किल. आता हे तुम्ही कसं डेव्हलप करू शकता, तुम्ही तुमचे प्रॅक्टिकल जे काही प्रॅक्टिकल्स आहेत स्टॅटिस्टिक्स मध्ये ते तुम्ही युजिंग SAS, पायथॉन किंवा आर्म या लँग्वेज यूज करून करा. भले ते तुम्हाला आता एक्झाम मध्ये नसतील की ते पायथॉन किंवा हे करता यूज करून केलं तरी चालते किंवा नाही. तुम्ही फोकस करा. तुम्ही मॅन्युअली पण करा ऍज वेल एज ते प्रोग्रामिंग थ्रू पण करा, म्हणजे तुम्हाला त्याचं अंडरस्टँडिंग होईल. त्यामुळे तुम्हाला कळेल की प्रोग्रामिंग लॉजिक काय वापरलं गेलं आहे, आणि ते अशा हळूहळू तुमचे मग ते लॉजिकल थिंकिंग सुद्धा डेव्हलप होईल त्यानं. सॅस मला नाही वाटत की प्रत्येक स्कूलमध्ये असेल. सॅस थोडं कॉस्टली आहे, पण नक्कीच पायथॉन आर हे ओपन सोर्स आहेत, तुम्हाला इझिली अवेलेबल आहेत. तो मी सरांना पण रिक्वेस्ट करेन की ते तुम्ही इन्स्टॉल करा आणि मुलांना एनकरेज करा की ते त्यांचं प्रॅक्टिकल्स पायथॉन आणि आर लँग्वेज मध्ये करतील. आणि मटेरियल भरपूर आहे. युट्यूब तुम्ही इंटरनेटवर सर्च केलं तर तुम्हाला भरपूर मिळून जाईल मटेरियल. ते कसं यूज करायचं, कसं सिंटॅक्स असतो, काय कोणते स्टॅटिस्टिकल मला ही स्टॅटिस्टिकल मेथड वापरायची आहे तर त्यासाठी कोणती पॅकेजेस आहेत, ते सगळं तुम्हाला अवेलेबल आहे मार्केटमध्ये. त्याचा तुम्ही यूज करून तुम्ही तुमची प्रॅक्टिकल करा. त्यामुळे तुमचा ऑटोमॅटिक प्रोग्रामिंग स्किल वाढेल आणि त्याचा नक्कीच तुम्हाला पुढे फायदा होईल तुमच्या करिअरमध्ये. क्वालिफिकेशन ऑफकोर्स तुम्ही ऑलरेडी त्या ह्याच्यामध्ये आहात. स्टॅटिस्टिशियन अंडर ग्रॅज्युएट डिग्री मॅथमॅटिक्स किंवा स्टॅटिस्टिक्स अँड अनदर रिलेव्हंट डिसिप्लिन. म्हणजे तुम्ही फक्त स्टॅटिस्टिशियनच नाही तर बाकीचे पण ऍज अ स्टॅटिस्टिशियन काम करतात, लाईक मॅथमॅटिक्स किंवा अदर रिलेटिव्ह आहे डिसिप्लिन्स. सो स्टॅटिस्टिक्स मध्ये जे फार्मास्युटिकल इंडस्ट्रीमध्ये स्टॅटिस्टिक्स यूज केलं जातं त्याच्यासाठी आय गेस वेगळी स्ट्रीम आहे बायोस्टॅटिस्टिक्स म्हणून. बायोस्टॅटिस्टिकल मे बी आपल्या युनिव्हर्सिटीमध्ये असेल किंवा नसेल, काही युनिव्हर्सिटीमध्ये आहे, काही युनिव्हर्सिटीमध्ये नाही बायोस्टॅटिस्टिक्स. तुम्ही तोही सब्जेक्ट चूज करून तुमच्या मास्टर्स जेव्हा तुम्ही जाशील MSc ला तेव्हा तुम्ही तो सब्जेक्ट घेऊ शकता. पोस्ट ग्रॅज्युएशन इन स्टॅटिस्टिक्स एज वेल, दॅट्स द मास्टर्स. आणि मी इथं पाहिलेलं आहे की लोक भरपूर मला आफ्रिकन लोक दिसत आहेत ऍज अ स्टॅटिस्टिशियन काम करताना. आणि मी पाहिलं की ते काय करतात की स्टॅटिस्टिक्स त्यांच्या कंट्रीमध्ये करून ते पोस्ट ग्रॅज्युएशन करायला युरोपमध्ये येतात आणि युरोपमध्ये ते पोस्ट ग्रॅज्युएशन करतात, PhD करतात आणि भरपूर कंपनीमध्ये जॉब मिळवतात. सो तसाही वेनं तुम्ही थिंक करू शकता की बाबा मी पोस्ट ग्रॅज्युएशन केलं, मला PhD करायचे आहे, तर मी बाहेरची युनिव्हर्सिटी बघू शकतो का, त्याच्यामध्ये काय क्रायटेरिया आहे. मे बी त्यांच्या एक्झाम्स असतील, त्यांच्या एक्झाम्स मध्ये तुम्ही पास झाला तर मे बी त्यांचे तुम्हाला अलाउन्सेस मिळतील. ते तुम्ही जर तुम्ही इंटरेस्टेड असाल तर करा कॉन्टॅक्ट. मीही चौकशी करेन आणि तुम्हाला मदत करू शकतो तुमच्या त्या फील्डमध्ये. जर तुम्हाला करिअर करायची इच्छा असेल तर तुम्ही कॉन्टॅक्ट करू शकता. मी चौकशी करून ठेवेन इथे युरोपमध्ये तुमच्यासाठी काय काय स्कोप आहे ते. सेम फॉर प्रोग्रॅमर, मी आता वर्क स्टॅटिस्टिकल प्रोग्रॅमरच म्हणून करतोय. त्याच्यासाठी तुम्हाला डिग्री लागतेच. ऍक्च्युली जेव्हा मला जॉब लागला तो मला फक्त आणि फक्त माझ्या MSc स्टॅटिस्टिक्स या डिग्रीमुळे लागला. तुम्ही थँकफुल आहे कोरे सरांचा की त्यांनी मला ऍक्च्युली स्टॅटिस्टिक्स घेण्यासाठी एनकरेज केलं आणि मी तो डिसिजन घेतला. त्यामुळे आय एम व्हेरी थँकफुल टू द कोरे सर. ऍक्च्युली मी आधीमध्ये तर लोकांना सांगतो पण की या सरांमुळे मी हा सब्जेक्ट घेतला आणि आता मी येत आहे. तर त्यांचं नक्कीच खूप योगदान आहे माझ्या आत्ताच्या जे करिअरमध्ये जे माझं घडलं आहे आतापर्यंत मी अचीव केलं आहे, त्यामध्ये त्यांचं योगदान खूप आहे. सो हे झालं तुमचं क्वालिफिकेशन अँड प्रोग्रामिंग. आणि वर्किंग एन्व्हायरमेंट म्हणजे जेव्हा तुम्ही जॉईन करता त्यावेळी तुमचं तिथलं वर्क एन्व्हायरमेंट कसं असतं. ऍक्च्युली तुम्ही ऑलरेडी त्या लेवल पर्यंत पोहोचलेला असता, त्यामुळे तुम्ही एक्सपर्ट असता, स्पेशालिस्ट असता. बट सांगतो की तुम्ही नेव्हर स्टॉप लर्निंग. बिग मार्केट चेंज होत चालतंय, तुम्हाला चॅलेंजेस भरपूर येत आहेत. आतापर्यंत मी फक्त सॅस शिकत होतो, आता नवीनच पायथॉन एवढा ग्रूमअप घेतलाय की आता सगळे पायथॉन. अरुण पण सांगितलं मशीन लर्निंग आपण पायथॉन थ्रू अचीव्ह करू शकतो. आता सध्या स्कोप मध्ये तेच आहे, तर तुम्ही त्याचाही विचार करू शकता. त्यामुळे तुम्हाला सारखं लर्न करत राहायलाच पाहिजे आहे. लार्ज व्हरायटी ऑफ वर्क, नुसतं स्टॅटिस्टिक्स नाही तर तुम्हाला ऍज अ डेटा सायन्स इज ऑल्सो स्टॅटिस्टिक पार्ट. बट ओनली दॅट मी सांगितलं जे तुम्हाला फेज 1 to फेज 4 राहील त्याच्यामध्येच काम नाही, तर डेटा सायंटिस्ट म्हणून पण तुम्हाला काम करता येतं फार्मास्युटिकल इंडस्ट्रीमध्ये. त्याच्यामध्ये तुमचं इनोव्हेशन तुम्ही तुमचं ट्रायलमध्ये कसं आणू शकता, की तुम्ही कमीत कमी वेळात तुमचे ट्रायल तुम्ही कसं घेऊ शकता, त्याचं मॉडेलिंग करून त्याचं प्रिडिक्शन तुम्ही कंपनीला देऊन त्याच्यामध्ये त्या कंपनीचा फायदा होईल, ॲज वेल ॲज त्याच्याबरोबर तुमचाही फायदा होईल. सो ॲज अ डेटा सायंटिस्ट म्हणून सुद्धा तुमचं काम होईल. करिअर करू शकता. Generous benefits and competitive salary. Yes, you have a huge demand in the market as a statistician, आणि तुम्हाला नक्कीच खूप चांगली सॅलरी मिळेल जेव्हा तुम्ही मार्केटमध्ये पडाल. एक्सलंट वर्किंग कंडिशन्स. ऑलवेज पार्ट ऑफ द टीम. जेव्हा तुम्ही आता पार्ट ऑफ द टीम, असं कधी बॉस म्हणजे असं सांगत नाही की तुम्ही गुरूर करू नका तुमच्या ह्याचा, की तुम्ही सगळ्यांना एकत्र घेऊन काम करा. तुमची जर हेल्पिंग नेचर अँड लिडिंगशिप ॲबिलिटी जर तुमच्या सुपरवायझरला कळाली तर तुम्हाला लवकर त्याचं प्रमोशन मिळायला फायदा होईल. लाईक अरुणनं सांगितलंय तुम्हाला की टेड टॉक्स बघण्यासाठी, तर त्या टेड टॉक्समध्ये हेच आहे की तुमची लिडरशिप ॲबिलिटी कशी डेव्हलप करा. त्याच्यामध्ये भरपूर कॅटेगरीज आहेत, तर तुम्ही त्याचाही यूज करून आत्तापासूनच तुमच्यात ते क्वालिटी डेव्हलप करू शकता. अँड यू मेक अ रिअल डिफरन्स इन युअर लाईफ. सो हे झालं फक्त फार्मास्युटिकल इंडस्ट्रीमध्ये स्टॅट यूज होतो. ऍक्च्युली मी सुरुवातीपासून नव्हतो, सो मला माहित नाही की कोरे सरांनी ऍक्च्युली काय डिटेलमध्ये सांगितलं की स्टॅट कुठे कुठे स्टॅट वापरतात. बट मी आय गेस अरुणच्या सेशन पासून होतो, तर मी त्याच्यावर सांगतो की स्टॅट फक्त फार्मास्युटिकल आणि इन बँकिंग मध्ये वापरलं जात नाही. कारण स्टॅट हे तुमच्या डे टू डे लाईफ मध्ये सुद्धा यूज होतं, भरपूर ठिकाणी यूज होतं. आता मी एक्झाम्पल दिलं तर करंटली तुम्ही बघताय IPL होतंय, तर IPL मध्ये सुद्धा भरपूर स्टॅट यूज केलं जातं. तिथे स्टॅटिस्टिशियनचा यूज होतो. तुमचे जर तुम्हाला प्लेयर चूज करायचा असेल IPL मध्ये, तर स्टॅटिस्टिशियन तिथे हायर केले जातात. आता मी एक एक्झाम्पल देतो तुम्हाला. 2014ला KKR कोलकाता नाईट रायडर्स टीमने SAP अनालिटिक्स कंपनीला हायर केलं होतं. त्या कंपनीनं त्यांची टीम चूज केली होती की कोणत्या प्लेयरला घेतलं पाहिजे. त्यांनी त्याचा डेटा अनालिसिस केला होता. कोणता आता हार्ड हिटर आहे हे आता पॉप्युलेट कसं करायचं, तर एखाद्या प्लेयरनं आतापर्यंत खेळलेले बॉल आणि त्याने त्यात मारलेले 4-6 डिवायडेड बाय द खेळलेले बॉल, ह्याच्यावरून त्याचं ऍव्हरेज काढून ते डिसाइड करतात की हा किती हार्ड हिटर आहे. त्याच्याच पद्धतीनं खेळलेल्या बॉलमध्ये 1-2 रन्स किती काढलेत, मग त्याला मधल्या फळीत पाठवायचा का शेवट पाठवायचा, हे सगळं डिसिजन तुम्ही तुमच्या त्या डेटावर घेऊ शकता. तसंच बॉलरमध्ये किती ओव्हर्समध्ये त्याने किती विकेट्स घेतलेत, किती ओव्हर्समध्ये त्याने किती रन्स दिलेले आहेत, त्याच्यापासून ते अनालिसिस केलं जातं. आणि तुम्हाला माहितीये का त्यांनी ते प्रत्येक टीमची स्ट्रॅटर्जी डिसाइड करत होतं त्या SAP अनालिटिक्स टीम. आणि त्या वर्षी 2014ला KKRनं ती IPL जिंकलं होतं. सो तुम्ही तुमच्या स्टॅटिस्टिक्सचा ॲज अ प्रोफेशन म्हणून यूज करू शकता प्रॉपर वेनं जर तुम्ही गेलात तर. नॉट ओन्ली IPL, पॉलिटिक्समध्ये पण तुम्हाला माहित असेल की भरपूर यूज केला जातो स्टॅटिस्टिक्सचा. तर तुम्ही आता नाव ऐकलंही असेल, प्रशांत किशोर. हे युनायटेड नेशन मध्ये स्टॅटिस्टिशियन होते. मोदीजींनी त्यांना 2012 मध्ये बोलवून घेतलं होतं. आणि 2012 पासून ऍक्च्युली मोदीजींचं कॅम्पेन बॅकएंडला सगळं हँडल ते करत होते, स्ट्रॅटर्जी ते ठरवत होते. आणि 2014ला तुम्हाला रिझल्ट माहित आहे. तसंच त्यांनी नॉट ओन्ली मोदीजी BJPला सपोर्ट केलं, नंतर त्यांनी भरपूर राज्यांमध्ये त्यांनी त्यांचं स्टॅटिस्टिकल नॉलेज वापरून सरकार आणलं आहे, त्या सरकारचं आणलं आहे आणि करोडोमध्ये त्यांनी चार्ज केला आहे. तो तुम्हाला भरपूर स्कोप आहे. नॉट ओन्ली युअर द फार्मास्युटिकल किंवा बँकिंग मध्ये भरपूर क्षेत्रात तुम्हाला स्कोप आहे. इवन आता मी पाहतोय भरपूर ठिकाणी की MBA झालेली किंवा इंजिनिअरिंग झालेली क्रॅश कोर्स करतायत डेटा सायन्सचा, आणि ते ऍज अ डेटा सायंटिस्ट म्हणून काम करतायत. ऍक्च्युली ती जागा तुमची आहे. तिथं स्टॅटिस्टिशियन भेटत नाहीयेत ऍक्च्युली लोकांना, त्यामुळे हे लोक त्याचा फायदा घेत आहेत. त्यामुळे तुम्ही तुमचं डिसिजन लवकरात लवकर घ्या. एम करा की बाबा मला हे करायचं आहे, आणि त्या एमच्या मागे झपाटून लागा आणि ते पूर्ण करा. तसंच जर तुम्हाला एक किस्सा सांगतो, मे बी सरांना माहित असेल, शिवाजी डिसले हे नाव. तो कोटक महिंद्रामध्ये काम करतो. त्याच्या टीममध्ये त्याला एक टीम मेंबरची गरज होती आणि तो त्यानं ॲक्चुअली त्याच्यासाठी भरपूर लोकांनी अप्लाय केलं होतं. भरपूर लोकं त्याच्याकडे अशी आली होती, की MBA इंजिनिअरिंग झालेली आणि डेटा सायंटिस्टचा क्रॅश कोर्स करून आलेली. बट त्यानं त्या कोणत्याही लोकांना घेतलं नाही आणि त्याला एक असा मुलगा मिळाला, की त्यानं MSc केलं होतं मुंबई युनिव्हर्सिटीतून. तर त्यानं त्याला घेतलं का तर तोही स्टॅटिस्टिशियन आहे. त्याला माहिती आहे, की कुणाला किती नॉलेज असतं. त्यामुळे तुम्हाला त्याचा तुमच्या सीनियर्सची हेल्प नक्कीच होईल या क्षेत्रात, की जेव्हा तुम्ही तुमचं एज्युकेशन कंप्लीट करून बाहेर पडाल, तेव्हा तुमचं करिअर घडवायला तुमच्या सीनियर्सची नक्कीच हेल्प होईल. ओके, थँक यू व्हेरी मच. मला ही संधी दिल्याबद्दल सर्व शिक्षकांचा मी आभारी आहे, खास करून कोरे सर अँड कोपार्डे सरांचा.
Vikesh, nice presentation.
थँक यू सर, थँक यू व्हेरी मच. तर तुम्ही क्वेश्चन काय असतील तर विचारू शकता. इंग्लिशमध्येही विचारू शकता आणि मराठीतही विचारू शकता. मी मुद्दामून मराठीत सांगितलं तर काही मुलं संकोच करतात इंग्लिशमध्ये कसं बोलू म्हणून. पण तुम्ही मराठीतही बोलू शकता आणि क्वेश्चन विचारू शकता जर तुम्हाला काय असतील तर.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir, for your stimulating speech regarding application of statistics in international pharmaceutical sectors and other fields also. And also you discuss key skills required to grab the job opportunities in market. So your session is very nice. There are so many appreciation messages in chat box from the audience side. So your talk is very excellent and nice. So here, after this, we proceed for question and answer session. So there are many more questions, but I ask few questions because you cover many more things in your presentation itself. So first question is, was the operation research method are used in drugs and clinical trials?
ओके, ऑप्टिमायझेशन टेक्निक्स डिपेंड आहे. ऍक्च्युली यूज केलं जातं, पण प्रत्येक इट्स डिपेंड्स अपॉन स्टडी. आता मी कोणत्या प्रकारच्या ड्रग्जवर काम करतोय त्याच्यावरती डिसाइड होतं की कोणते स्टॅटिस्टिकल मेथड यूज करायची. हे आपण आधीच प्रिडिक्ट नाही करू शकत की मी हे यूज करणार आहे. तर तुम्हाला कोणता तुमचा ऍक्च्युली डेटा पॉइंट काय आहे, मी तुम्ही बारक्या मुलांवर वॅक्सिन बनवताय का मोठ्यांवर बनवताय का ड्रग बनवताय, हे सगळं फॅक्टर कन्सिडर केले जातात आणि त्या फॅक्टर थ्रू तुम्हाला तुमचं स्टॅटिस्टिकल मेथड डिसाइड करायची असते की हे अनालिसिस करू शकतो आणि आपण प्रूव्ह करू शकतो की हे ड्रग चांगलं वर्क होईल ह्याच्यामध्ये ह्युमन वर असं. त्यामुळे असं पर्टिक्युलर मेथड असं नसतं.
Hello. Next, what is randomization?
रँडमायझेशन मी सांगितलं, रँडमायझेशन हे ह्याच्यासाठी केलं जातं की तुमचा बायसनेस कमी जातो. मी ब्लाइंडेड आणि अनब्लाइंडेडचं तुम्हाला एक्झाम्पल दिलं. जर पेशंटला माहित असेल की बाबा मला प्लॅसिबो गोळी दिली की त्याच्यामध्ये काहीच नाहीये, तर तो ऍक्च्युली भिल्यामुळं त्याच्यामध्ये कसं होईल की तो ऑटोमॅटिक तुमचा ब्रेन तो सिम्पटम्स दाखवायला चालू करेल की बाबा मला हे गोळी दिली ती चुकीची आहे आणि मग ऑटोमॅटिकली नसताना तुम्हाला डिसीज तो होईल. त्यामुळं ते ह्याच्यासाठी हे बायसनेस अवॉइड करण्यासाठी तुम्हाला हे रँडमायझेशन टेक्निक यूज केलं जातं. तसंच डॉक्टर सुद्धा हे करू शकतात की बाबा हा पेशंट आपल्या हा ओळखीचा, याला हे औषध द्या त्याला ते औषध द्या. त्यासाठी सुद्धा डबल ब्लाइंडेड टेक्निक यूज केली जाते की डॉक्टरला पण माहित नसते की कोणता ड्रग देतोय तो, आणि त्याच्यानुसार जो डेटा येतो ऍक्च्युली ते हेल्प करतं आपल्याला की ऍक्च्युअल प्रिडिक्शन करण्यासाठी.
Yes, sir. There are many more questions, but we are running out of time. So, moreover, we are thankful to both the speakers for their wisdom, experience, and personable presentation. Very nice presentations. Both our keynote speaker is also given. So, I request After this energetic session, may I request to convener of this webinar, Mr. Avi Kopade sir, to deliver vote of thanks.
Thanks, Vikesh. Arun.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sheikh Madam. And good afternoon to all. Being convener of this one-day international webinar on use of statistics in international banking and pharmaceutical sectors, which are organized by Department of Statistics and Internal Quality Assurance Cell, under lead college scheme, Daivadi College, Daivadi, on the occasion of 3rd World Statistics Day. It is not only my responsibility but also the honor to convey vote of thanks. First of all, I would like to express my sincere thanks to Honorable Dr. B.G. Kore sir, Principal of Adarsh College Vita. He delivered keynote address for today's webinar and threw light on the importance of statistics in brief and valuable words and made good foundation of this webinar. And one more important thing is that Mr. Vikesh, Mr. Arun and myself are directly or indirectly, we are all the students of Kore sir. So yeah. I am personally thankful to Kore sir. Secondly, I would like to thank Honorable Mr. He made his session very enthusiastic and inspired us by his motivational presentation regarding international banking and communication skills. Thanks to Mr. Arun Mishra. Then I would like to thank our second resource person, Honorable Mr. Vikesh Taralekar, who conveyed us the use of statistics in pharmaceutical sector in very simple manner. He is an example for those who bother over the situation. His success journey from a small town to Netherlands will always inspire us. Thanks to Mr. Vikesh Taralekar. It is my immense pleasure to have your attention on our participants. People have participated in today's webinar from various states of India as well as various countries like Oman, Indonesia, Holland, Philippines, Nepal, UK, etc. I am very much thankful to all participants who raised the value of this international webinar. It is my duty to express the gratitude to a very energetic personality, the principal of our college, Honorable Dr. B.S. Balwant, for his unstoppable support. Without his guidance, it was not possible to organize such a wonderful webinar. Thanks to Dr. B.S. Balwant. I am thankful to Professor K.M. Pawar, the COE of Daivadi College, Daivadi, who welcome all and nicely expressed his views regarding today's webinar. Thank you, Mr. K.M. Pawar, sir. I am thankful to the head of Commerce Department, Mr. B.T. Zadhav, and my dear friends, Mr. Pradeep Unde, Mr. Sudhir Kumbhar, Mr. Amit Wadile, Mr. Hanmant Kayande, Mr. Dipesh More, Mr. Anand Dede, Mr. Netaji Dabde, Mr. Anil Davle, Mr. Sagar Bakre, Mr. Arun Sutar, and today's anchor, Miss Sheikh Madam, for their valuable support. I am also thankful to all the heads of various departments and all teaching and non-teaching staff. Okay, there is one announcement. Within 2 days, you will get e-certificates through your email. Please fill the feedback form. Lastly, I convey my sincere thanks to one and all who took a lot of efforts for the success of today's webinar. And by the permission of Honorable Principal, I announce that this international webinar is over. Thank you. Thank you one and all, and have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you all of you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
विकेश नेदरलैंड विठल कधी आते
विट्याचा प्लॅन अजून तरी नाही. आता पॅन्डेमिक मुळे तरी कॅन्सल केला, नोव्हेंबरचा होता.
ठीक आहे ना?
हो सगळं व्यवस्थित आहे. तुमची कशी तब्येत वगैरे?
आहे ठीक आहे. नंतर फोन कर.
हो चालेल, करतो नंतर.
नंबर सेंड करतो सर.
ओके.
मुळात विकेशला ही आयडिया नव्हती सर.
बर बर.
तुम्ही येणार आहे ते मला आयडिया नव्हती याच्यामध्ये.
ते सिक्रेट ठेवलं होतं अभिने.
चांगली गोष्ट आहे.
नाही सर, पण या निमित्तानं तरी ऍटलिस्ट बघणं तरी होतं सर.
मिश्रानी पण चांगलं केलं प्रेझेंटेशन.
सर थँक्यू सर. 2008
आवाज म्यूट आहे वाटतं. ठीक आहे.
ओके.
आला ठीक आहे. ओके थँक्यू.
Okay, thank you. I have to go to work. Bye-bye.
Bye.